Chapter 1241. Supreme Powerhouse, far exceeding hundreds of millions of troops. The Eye of the Undead tolled the death knell for the demon battle formation. Under the gaze of the Eye of the Undead, large numbers of demons had their souls turned into burning flames, turning to ashes in the blink of an eye. Their eyes lost their light, and they died silently. The attacks of the skeleton soul archers were as dense as a tsunami, continuous and relentless. The Eye of the Undead was like a plow, sweeping across again and again. In less than a minute, the true God Realm demons were all dead, and the demon battle formation collapsed. Only some God King Realm demons remained, somewhat lost and confused. In the great world, there were very few races that could use soul attacks. The human race did have spells targeting soul attacks, but they couldn't cause damage on such a scale. Some God King Realm demons realized that things were troublesome. Such a monster had appeared in the human race. If Lin Mo Yu were allowed to grow, he would be too great a threat to the demon race. Some God King Realm demons charged toward Lin Mo Yu, their auras surging, wanting to perish together with Lin Mo Yu. Other God King Realm demons turned and fled, feeling that they couldn't kill Lin Mo Yu and had to bring the news back. But they had no chance. As soon as they moved, sword light flashed on their bodies. The Skeleton King, having been waiting for the opportunity, seized it, and a god-slaying strike was unleashed. Although there were many targets and the power of the god-slaying strike was dispersed, with the Skeleton King's combat power and the buff from the strong soldier's spell, all those below 3rd Order God King were instantly killed. Those above 3rd Order God King were also heavily injured. Only a 5th Order God King Realm demon, filled with fear, turned into a streak of light and fled. But the next second, sword light flashed on his body as well. Lin Mo Yu filled in the gaps, unleashing another god-slaying strike, directly cutting him into pieces. The demon battle formation counterattacked frantically, the skeleton god warriors and god mages rushing forward, delaying for even a second if they could. The skeleton soul archers scattered throughout the starry sky, launching fierce attacks. The Skeleton King stood guard, waiting for the battle formation to collapse, the god-slaying strike ready to be unleashed. Lin Mo Yu continuously used corpse explosion, accelerating the collapse of the battle formation. The demon race's battle formation was very strong, at least among the enemies Lin Mo Yu had encountered, it was one of the best. But such a strong battle formation had such obvious weaknesses. Its soul defense was simply too weak. As long as the opponent had powerful soul attack abilities, the demon battle formation would appear extremely fragile. Lin Mo Yu thought of the Starry Sky Spirit race, who were skilled in soul laws and possessed corresponding spells. If the demon race's battle formation faced the Starry Sky Spirit race, it would probably be wiped out with a single spell. He silently made a comparison in his mind, finding that there was no comparison. When the difference in strength reached a certain level, numbers became meaningless. Back then, when the human race was on the verge of collapse, more than 200 races, large and small, united to almost completely destroy the human race. But the human race produced Xiao Zhantian, who single-handedly turned the tide. That cultivation realm, that strength, had completely exceeded Lin Mo Yu's imagination. Therefore, all the rules of the human race, all the methods established, were all for cultivating true powerhouses. A top powerhouse far surpassed hundreds of millions of troops. The demon battle formations collapsed one after another under the coordination of the skeleton soul archers and the Eye of the Undead. Lin Mo Yu and the Skeleton King made sure to finish off any survivors, leaving no one behind. In just less than 10 minutes, the battle formation had suffered more than half its casualties. The remaining 6 battle formations suddenly abandoned their fight with Lin Mo Yu and fled towards the black hole. There were still a large number of demons there. Lin Mo Yu knew that the demons wouldn't give up because of this. The demons in the 7th war zone had come out in full force this time, mobilizing at least 5 million or more demons. He had only killed about 1/5 of them so far. It was just an appetizer, the main course was next. Demon battleships fled through the starry sky, their direction also the central black hole. Due to the demon battle formations, there were still more than 2,000 demon battleships that escaped. Lin Mo Yu led the undead army, bringing all the flesh and blood left behind from the previous battle, and chased after them. A slight sense of fullness came from his soul. Through repeated killings, the origin spell had absorbed a large amount of soul power. Part of this soul power, after being refined by both the talent giant tree and the 9-colored dragon soul crystal, had turned into extremely pure soul power. As long as he absorbed and refined this soul power, it would be enough for him to advance to the seventh order of true God. But now Lin Moyu didn't have time to absorb and refine it. The feeling of fullness in his soul was caused by another part of the soul power. This soul power had turned into the power to maintain the origin spell, allowing Lin Moyu to stay in the seventh order God King state for a long time. It was just that because he had absorbed too much, Lin Moyu could now maintain the seventh order God King state for at least 10 minutes. If he continued to kill, the duration could be extended. But the feeling of fullness in his soul was reminding Lin Moyu not to absorb any more soul power. If he continued to absorb, it might backfire, and his soul might self-destruct on the spot due to the excessive power. Moreover, the power he had absorbed before would also dissipate. If that were the case, it would really be a huge loss. Lin Moyu realized that the origin spell also had limitations and couldn't grow indefinitely. Chasing after the fleeing demons, the star rapidly expanded in his vision. Lin Moyu had already crossed 3 planets and entered the range covered by the star. The center of this area was a black hole, surrounded by a layer of stars, and the outermost layer was planets. The scale of the star was much larger than the planets. The 3 planets combined were not as large as one star. Therefore, the demon race's army was also divided into 3. The outermost layer was guarding outside the planets, with a small number of demons and battleships setting up barriers, forming the first line of defense. When the first line of defense was breached, the demons located on the 3 planets would mobilize and form the second line of defense. If the human race's army came, these 2 lines of defense couldn't stop them. The demons actually knew this, but the 2 lines of defense were enough to delay for a considerable amount of time, buying time for the demons at the star. This time, it wasn't to start a war with the human race. The most important thing was to find the military star chart. 440. As long as they found the military star chart, they would be the victors. Even if all the demons die here, as long as someone can bring the military star chart back, it would be an unimaginable victory. It's just unexpected that the first line of defense was almost instantly broken. The second line of defense only lasted a few minutes, much less than expected. Near the star, a special demon warship was parked there. On the surface of the warship, the graphic of a heart was carved. Various human-like hearts, including human hearts, black snake hearts, and golden eagle hearts. Almost every race's heart pattern can be found here. This belongs to August's warship. He is the heart-eating demon, whose favorite thing in life is to eat hearts, hearts of all races. After eating the heart, he would carve the pattern of the eaten heart on the warship. This is his trophy. Auguste is the commander of the demons on-site operation. The heart-eating demon's head is large at the top and small at the bottom, presenting an inverted triangle shape. His body doesn't look strong, and his height is only 3 meters, only slightly taller than humans. Among the demon race, he belongs to a very petite category. But the heart-eating demon is one of the royal families of the demons, known as the Demon's Brain Trust. The demon race generally has low intelligence and is easily irritable. But the heart-eating demon is a rare branch in the demon race with extremely high intelligence. Many demon leaders and officers are members of the heart-eating demon clan. Upon receiving the battle report from the front, Auguste's entire face was like blue iron, becoming extremely gloomy. Chapter 1242. This is the benefit of numbers. The demons' lines of defense in the 7 to 77 area were all personally arranged by him, and even the harassment plan outside the defense line was personally customized by him. He predicted the possible actions of the human race, including the possibility of the human race launching a devastating attack on the 7 to 77 area. In response, he also formulated a strategy, bringing a special treasure. As long as he can find the military star chart, he is confident that he can bring it back. Even if the human race uses destructive means, it won't work. He is confident that victory belongs to the demons. But now, the plan seems to have some problems. Haven't you found the military star chart yet? Auguste's tone was low and extremely displeased. Auguste actually knew that he shouldn't ask this question. If the military star chart had been found, it would have been in his hands long ago. Since it hasn't returned, it means it hasn't been found. When he asked this question, it proved that he was a little flustered. From the moment he received the battle report, a sense of unease began to linger in his mind. Especially when he learned that only one person from the human race had come, that feeling became extremely strong. The heart-eating demon belongs to the hell lineage of the demon race. They are good at a peculiar law, the law of the mind. The law of the mind has a magical function that can produce some premonitions about future events. The premonition is very vague, without clear pictures, and it doesn't tell you the specific events that will happen. The premonition only tells you whether the future events are good or bad. That alone is enough. Auguste shook his square, huge head, shaking off that feeling of unease. After all, premonitions are just premonitions, and they are not necessarily accurate. Historically, there have been many inaccurate premonitions. One person instantly broke the warship's barrier. In just 5 minutes, he broke through the second line of defense. The demon battle formation was cracked by him using soul attacks. He has a huge skeleton legion. The weakest are all true god rank 9, and the strongest is a 10,000-meter tall skeleton with god king rank 6 combat power. His own combat power seems to have reached the level of god king rank 7. According to the rules of the 7 to 77 area, it means that he has the ability to fight beyond his rank. Are these skeletons all puppets? Puppets with soul attack abilities. It is impossible for the human race to have such powerful puppets. I guess he obtained some ancient legacy. In ancient times, there were indeed powerful skeleton puppets. His soul attack power is at the true god level. Besides that, the skeletons do not have the ability to form a battle formation. In other words, although the quantity is large, it is actually a mess. As long as his soul attack ability can be restricted, there is actually nothing to fear. God King rank 7 combat power. It's not like we don't have it. Auguste kept thinking and quickly formulated a strategy to deal with Lin Moi. At the same time, orders were passed down, and the demon race immediately took action. Auguste stood on the bridge of his warship, his eyes fixed on the dark starry sky. Originally, I thought the warship's barrier could block for half an hour, and the second line of defense could block for 3 hours. Now, the plan has been disrupted, which is really a headache. What is this guy's background? When did such a guy appear in the human race? Could he be a genius from God City? There are indeed many geniuses from God City who come to the battlefield to train, but there doesn't seem to be anyone like this. Auguste couldn't figure it out, and his big head hurt a little. In his sight, several demon battle formations were approaching at an alarming speed. The starlight shone on the battle formations, reflecting brilliance. A look of disdain flashed in Auguste's eyes, and at the same time, a murderous intent surged. These people were deserters. In his opinion, even if they died, these people should have died there. At least they could have delayed for a few more minutes. As for luring Lin Moi here. Then he looked at Lin Moi, who was closely following behind the battle formations, and the mighty undead legion. Lin Moi vibrated his wings of the undead, seemingly unhurried. Auguste smiled coldly. Since you're here, then I'll play with you properly. Under his previous orders, the demons had already assembled. The quantity was not large, only 4,000 demons were assembled, forming 4 battle formations. Each battle formation only had 10,000 demons. Although the quantity was small, the momentum was even more amazing. The demons forming the battle formation were all God King Realm demons. Compared to the battle formation composed of 100,000 true God Realm demons, it was only stronger, not weaker. Moreover, Lin Moi's soul attack would not pose a threat to them. After the analysis just now, Auguste already had a way to deal with Lin Moi. When Auguste's gaze fell, Lin Moi also noticed his existence. Both of them felt a chill in their hearts at the same time. At this time, the two were at least 500,000 kilometers apart. Even with the eyesight of a cultivator, they could only see an insignificant little dot. But, both of them felt each other's gaze. In Auguste's heart, that sense of unease surged again, but it was quickly suppressed again. Lin Moi felt the same in his heart, feeling that this guy would cause him some trouble. The demon race must have already sent the news back. Since the other party was waiting for him here, they must have a way to deal with him. Although the demon race is not smart, there will always be smart people when there are more of them. Now that things have come to this, Lin Moi has no way out. He is the passive party and can only move forward. The distance between the two sides was constantly shortening. When there were only 200,000 kilometers left, the two finally saw each other clearly. Lin Moi saw Auguste, I1/2 heart-eating demon. Lin Moi recognized the other party's identity at a glance. There is no need to know the specific name, just know the other party's identity. Anyway, there is no possibility of any intersection between the two. Meeting is just a kill word, an endless battle. The heart-eating demon is called the demon's brain trust, and Lin Moi naturally knows it. So it's not surprising that August is here. August looked at Lin Mo and waved gently from afar. Under the light of the stars, an even brighter flame suddenly ignited. Abyssal flames blazed, and a battle formation shaped like a war blade suddenly appeared. Before the blade-shaped battle formation, there was also a shield-shaped battle formation. The cooperation of the blade and shield formations would greatly enhance their power. Lin Mo's eyes narrowed slightly. The number of demons composing the battle formation was significantly reduced this time. Each battle formation consisted of only 10,000 demons, a tenfold decrease in number, but the power was greater than before. Every demon in the battle formation was at the God King realm, which meant that his soul attacks would be ineffective. Although they could still cause some impact, destroying the battle formation would be much more difficult. A battle formation composed of 10,000 God King realm demons was far more threatening than before. The battle formation was activated and pounced towards Lin Mo. Facing a God King realm battle formation, the true God realm skeletons were useless, and it was only a matter of time before they were wiped out. August knew this. He wanted to see how Lin Mo would respond. He said to himself as if he had everything under control, sometimes, quantity is not decisive. He stopped abruptly before finishing his sentence. In his sight, the skeletons suddenly combined together. The number sharply decreased threefold, from a legion of 10 million to a legion of 1 million. 3 million skeleton god generals, 500,000 death dragon knights, 1 million lich generals. Then all the Death Dragon Knights and 2/3 of the Skeleton God Generals ignored the incoming demon battle formations, split into two, and went straight for the 2 stars. August's face became very ugly. This was the only flaw in his plan, and Lin Mo saw through it at a glance. Lin Mo used action to tell him the benefits of having a large number of people. Chapter 1243, Kill Lin Mo first. The Undead Legion possessed a dual advantage in quantity and quality. If dispersed, the number of the Undead Legion would exceed 10 million. More than double that of the demon army. If fusion spells were used to combine all the skeletons, it would form 3 million skeleton god generals, 500,000 death dragon knights, 500,000 death knights, and 1 million lich generals. In terms of quantity, it would still exceed the demon army, and in terms of quality, it would be a complete crush. The skeleton god generals were infinitely close to the 3rd level of the God King, while the Death Dragon Knights were equivalent to the 2nd level of the God King. The Death Knights barely entered the God King realm, and the Lich Generals were weaker in combat, but they were not originally combat-oriented. This kind of combat power was enough to crush the demon army. The only drawback was the lack of a battle formation. The battle formations in the army greatly increased the combat power of the demon army, which gave them the opportunity to compete with the Undead Legion. Lin Mo had to admit that the demon army's battle formation was very strong. Especially the battle formation composed purely of God Kings. He couldn't think of a good way to deal with them for a while without using his trump cards. But it didn't matter. After all, there were only 2 such battle formations. Lin Mo used 1 million skeleton god generals to hold them back, and the other 2 million skeleton god generals led 500,000 death dragon knights and 500,000 death knights to directly enter the stars. His goal was the military star chart 813, not to truly fight these demons to the death. The demons searching for the military star chart in the stars were basically at the 8th or 9th level of the true god realm, and they would have no resistance against the Undead Legion. If they formed a battle formation, then the skeleton soul archers would let them experience the terror of soul attacks. August's eyes were full of danger, and also with anger. The bad feeling that had just been suppressed rose uncontrollably. He stared at Lin Mo, and then quickly issued new orders. On his warship, an enchantment demon appeared. At the same time, the warship shone brightly, like a small star shining. Tremendous energy came from the warship, turning into a barrier to envelop the enchantment demon. The enchantment demon stood in the barrier and let out a deafening, high-pitched scream. After the scream, there was a passionate and stirring movement. The barrier became his megaphone, and the effect of the movement was amplified several times after passing through the barrier, resounding through the starry sky. The terrifying movement of the demons echoed in the starry sky, and then the voice of the enchantment demon echoed in the starry sky, joining his performance. The other 2 enchantment demons waved the musical instruments in their hands, playing strange notes, forming a magnificent movement. The demons' momentum greatly increased in the movement, and their power was enhanced. Those demons at the 9th level of the true God realm were promoted to the God King realm. The demons who temporarily reached the God King realm immediately formed a battle formation. With 10,000 as a group, a large number of battle formations suddenly appeared in the starry sky. The battle formations turned into blades and shields, the blades emitting a turquoise abyssal flame, the flame like blood, falling in the starry sky. The battle shields closely guarded the war blades, protecting them. From a distance, it looked like many invisible warriors were standing in the starry sky, holding blades and shields, slashing at the undead army. Fires flashed, and the abyssal fire swept through the starry sky, and a large number of skeleton god generals were burned to death. Forcibly raising the realm, the enchantment demon actually has this ability. It's a bit troublesome. Lin Mo glanced around. There were 3 enchantment demons in the starry sky. The one leading the team was the one standing on the ship, in the barrier. This enchantment demon had a huge aura, and its realm was probably at the 5th level of the God King. It was not easy to kill him. And Lin Mo believed that since he dared to come out, he would not be afraid of being attacked. The barrier around him not only had the effect of amplifying the effect of the music, but it would also protect him. The skeleton god generals were now completely scattered, and if they couldn't do anything with the war blades, they would delay time. Taking the opportunity to kill all the scattered demons who had not yet formed war blades. Lin Mo was not worried, he only needed to delay for a while, and when the human race army arrived, everything would be solved. Delaying was not difficult for him. The skeleton god generals seemed to be killed, but they would silently resurrect in the next second. As long as he controlled the smoothness and timing of being killed, he could delay indefinitely. The undying undead can resurrect 5 times in 150 seconds. So as long as the average interval between deaths does not exceed 30 seconds. And in this case, the demons could not search for the military star chart, so the goal was naturally achieved. The sword energy of the skeleton god generals fell densely, all blocked by the demon war shields. The defense of the demon war shields was amazing. Unless they could gather the power of all the skeleton god generals to attack with all their strength, it would be difficult to break them. But Lin Mo never thought of breaking the opponent's war shields, he just wanted to delay time. August's eyes were cold, and he realized something was wrong after only a minute. Within a minute, at least hundreds of thousands of skeleton god generals had been killed. But the number of skeleton god generals did not decrease at all. Realizing something was wrong, he observed carefully and finally saw the clue. Wherever the war blade passed, everything turned to ashes, and the skeleton god generals were also burned to ashes. But after the war blade flew away, in the ashes, a brand new skeleton god general was reborn on the spot. They can actually resurrect. What kind of puppet is this? August was greatly shocked, and at the same time understood what Lin Mo was going to do. Lin Mo was delaying time, and time was precious to both sides. Once the human race army arrived, all previous efforts would be in vain. August's mind flickered, and he immediately issued an order: ignore the skeletons, focus all your efforts on killing the human. He didn't know Lin Mo Yu's name, but there was only one human here, who else could it be? After receiving the order, the demons immediately ignored the skeleton god generals and roared towards Lin Mo Yu. Lin Mo Yu smiled. After 2 minutes of rest, the swelling in his soul had subsided slightly. Now that the demon battle formation was pouncing on him, Lin Mo Yu didn't want to fight them. With his God King's 7th order combat power, he couldn't deal with these demon battle formations. The demon battle formation was one of the capital of the demon race to traverse the great world. 10,000 God King realm demons, among them, there were not a few at the God King 3rd order. With the power of everyone gathered together, even if Lin Mo Yu had the combat power of a God King 7th order, it would be unwise to collide head-on with it. Unless he pushed his power up again, to God King 8th order or even 9th order, then he would have a chance to contend with the demon battle formation. But in that case, his soul would collapse before long. The wings of the undead vibrated, Lin Mo Yu transformed into a meteor, avoiding the demon battle blades, and instead flew towards the black hole. The demon battle blades also turned frantically, continuing to chase Lin Mo Yu. You can't escape. August's mount also quickly changed direction, chasing after him. In the current situation, it was impossible to search for the military star map without resolving the undead army. But to resolve the undead army, it was necessary to resolve Lin Mo Yu, the manipulator. Lin Mo Yu was very fast. The power of the God King 7th order was activated, greatly increasing the speed of the wings of the undead. The effect of the law of light speed aura was already obvious. Lin Mo Yu's speed had exceeded 30,000 km per second. The demon battle blades behind him kept chasing. In the blink of an eye, Lin Moyu had crossed 2 stars and began to approach the black hole. Suddenly, a roar came from the black hole. Chapter 1244. The Legendary Terrible Beast. The roar was filled with anger, resounding through everyone's soul world. Outside Lin Moyu's soul world, a black hole serpent suddenly appeared, roaring angrily at his soul. The entire soul world vibrated violently, and the crystal barrier buzzed. The roar passed through the crystal barrier, turning into invisible sound waves, bombarding the soul. Lin Moyu's soul emerged with a purple light, and the soul garment also bloomed with a dazzling light. Relying on the peak 4th grade soul quality, the gilded essence greatly enhanced the soul's defense, and in addition, there were some effects of the soul garment. Lin Moyu completely unharmed blocked this wave of soul attack. This roar's soul attack was very strong, enough to cause damage to a God King realm soul. Moreover, this was an indiscriminate attack, and everyone was affected. The undead army almost collectively collapsed. Although the skeletons had powerful combat power, their actual level was limited by Lin Moyu and was still at the true God realm. Their souls were not strong, and this attack was fatal to them. Fortunately, the undead existed. The next second, all the skeletons revived again. One attack caused the undead army to collectively collapse. Lin Moyu knew that the demon army was probably in a worse state. Turning his head to look, it was indeed as he expected. The demon battle formations chasing him were all standing stiffly in the starry sky. The battle formation completely collapsed in the roar, and the demons within died or were injured. Even those who didn't die were seriously injured, fell into a coma, and were half dead. The best way to deal with the demon battle formation was a strong soul attack. This soul attack killed at least 1 million demons. More demons were severely injured. Even those God King realm demons were all injured to a considerable extent. The battle formation collapsed, and they could no longer chase Lin Moyu. The enchantment demon's music abruptly stopped, and the next second it immediately changed to a gentle tune, soothing the demon army's wounds. Auguste's expression changed drastically. What happened before his eyes completely exceeded his expectations. The unease in his heart rose to the limit, far exceeding the unease that Lin Moyu brought him. Run! The next second, a scream came from afar. Auguste recognized the owner of the voice. It was the few demons he had sent to search for the military star map in the black hole. Among the team dispatched this time, there were 10 demons who had reached the God King 6th Order, the strongest existence in the army. After arriving here, he sent 10 people to the black hole to search. He wrenching most likely hid the military star map in the black hole. To enter the black hole, even a God King 6th Order would have some danger. But there was no choice, they had to go. In the voice, 3 demons flew out of the black hole, flying towards Auguste's battleships, ignoring Lin Moyu on the way. They looked panicked, as if they had seen something terrifying. Lin Moyu's expression changed slightly. Although he didn't know what had happened, the previous soul attack, coupled with the expressions of the 3 demons now, it was not difficult to analyze that something really happened. Without thinking, Lin Moyu vibrated his wings of the undead and moved far away. At this time, another roar sounded, and the second wave of soul attacks arrived. The 3 demons who had reached the God King 6th Order all let out painful screams, their speed increased, and they didn't dare to look back. Lin Moyu's soul was attacked again, and the undead army collectively collapsed again, and then collectively revived under the effect of magic. The demon army is finished. Lin Moyu muttered in his heart. With only a dozen seconds apart, 2 consecutive soul attacks were enough to completely destroy the demon army. It was estimated that apart from some God Kings, there would be no survivors. Looking over, it was indeed so. The starry sky was filled with corpses. Only some God King realm beings were still alive, but they were not living well. Even some God King realm beings with weak souls had already died. Their souls collapsed, and their deaths were tragic. On Auguste's battleship, the barrier was flashing, barely blocking the soul attack. As a heart-eating demon, Auguste's soul itself was strong, and in addition, he had the cultivation of a God King 4th Order, so the impact he received was not great. But he was already soaked in sweat. He thought of a legend. Legend has it that in the center of the black hole in Area 7-77, a terrifying starry sky beast sleeps. It is the ancestor of all black hole serpents. It sleeps all year round and rarely awakens. Once it awakens, it will destroy all living beings in the entire area. This is just a legend and has never been confirmed. Because everyone who has seen it is dead. Now August can responsibly say that the legend is true, there really is such a terrifying beast. He didn't even see its face. With just 2 roars, the demon army had already died by 70 or 80%. And the 3 God King 6th Order demons who flew back were extremely frightened. 10 went, and only 3 came back. The other 7 were self-evident. The 3 God King 6th Order demons flew back to August's battleship at the fastest speed and shouted urgently, "Run, run! Hurry, it'll be too late if we don't run. Don't be stunned, run! It's coming after us." The 3 shouted urgently, without considering the feelings of others at all. Even Lin Mo Yu, who was hundreds of thousands of kilometers away, could hear them clearly. August realized the seriousness of the matter, immediately started the battleship, and turned to fly outwards. Lin Mo Yu's expression also changed slightly. He thought of the approaching human army. The experience of the demon army was still in front of him. If the human army came, it would probably not be any better. Soul attacks have always been the most difficult attacks to defend against. For almost the vast majority of races, before the god Venerable realm, their souls are extremely fragile. Even his soul was impacted. If it were someone else, the result would be imaginable. Lin Mo was stirred, and a large number of skeletons quickly flew outwards. He simultaneously took out the Battle King Tower, and also held the jade pendant given by Zhu Qiwu in his hand, ready to escape at any time if there was danger. August's warship was very fast, even faster than the Battle King Tower, with a speed exceeding 150,000 kilometers per second. But it only flew for a few seconds, less than 1,000,000 kilometers, when it suddenly stopped in the starry sky. The warship struggled hard, constantly trembling, but there seemed to be an invisible force in the starry sky grabbing it, making it difficult to move. The warship trembled more and more violently, emitting a buzzing sound. On the warship, the enchantment of the enchantment demon was distorted and deformed. The enchantment demon was so frightened that it immediately retreated into the ship. The enchantment shattered with a bang, and then the warship emitted a creaking sound. Lin Mo watched the warship gradually deform with his own eyes, as an invisible force surged from all directions, twisting the warship into a twist like a twist. The warship exploded with a bang, blasting into a cloud of fireworks. Several figures flew out from the warship, namely the 3 rank 6 God King demons who had just escaped back, and August. The warship, including the enchantment demon, had already been destroyed in the explosion. Taking advantage of the fire, Lin Mo finally saw who had taken action. A large amount of fire was absorbed by it, faintly outlining some contours. This was an incredibly huge black hole serpent. This serpent devoured all light, so it could not be seen. Its size exceeded 100,000 kilometers, making it the largest star beast Lin Mo had ever seen. Lin Mo couldn't even judge the thickness of its body. If it coiled up, it would be larger than an ordinary star. Under its body, it seemed to have tentacles. It was these tentacles that twisted August's warship into pieces. The black hole serpent's eyes looked towards August and the others, its giant mouth opened, spitting out an equally dark tongue, and once again let out a roar. 0. Chapter 1245. The Black Hole Serpent That Refuses No One. The soul attack was mighty. The difference between a soul attack at close range and a soul attack millions of kilometers away was not just a little bit. The 3 rank 6 God King demons all let out screams, in immense pain. This time, even August felt unimaginable pain. His skin was clearly iron blue, but it turned bluish-white. The black hole serpent didn't stop after roaring, it directly opened its giant mouth, and a huge suction force was generated. The black hole serpent's giant mouth was like a real black hole, directly sucking August and the other 3 in. Despair rose on the demons' faces. At this moment, resistance became futile. At the critical moment of life and death, August took out a small knife. He forcefully stabbed the knife into his body. He stabbed very hard, the entire blade was submerged in his body. The wound burst open, and black blood splattered out, staining the knife. A gem on the hilt of the knife suddenly lit up, and a ball of emerald green, 607, flame enveloped August. Then the flame disappeared, along with August. He escaped. Lin Mo saw all of this. August actually escaped. He could no longer sense August's aura at all, indicating that August was very far away from here, and may have even left the 7-77 area. Lin Mo was suddenly shocked. He realized that if August found the military star map, in fact, the human race's backup plan would be useless. Before the 7 to 77 area was destroyed, August could completely leave and take the military star map back. Lin Mo was not surprised that the demons had such treasures. The black hole serpent swallowed the 3 rank 6 God King demons in one gulp, and a trace of bloodlust passed through its huge eyes. Then the black hole serpent turned around sharply in the fire, and its huge body swept across the warship that had turned into flames, and the warship was swept away like garbage. The black hole serpent came to the starry sky filled with demon corpses. Most of the demons here were dead, with only a few God Kings still alive. But these God Kings, after enduring 3 soul attacks, had lost their resistance. The black hole serpent was not polite at all. Whether they were dead or alive, it refused no one. It opened its giant mouth that could devour stars, and suction was generated. Whether alive or dead, all were sucked into its mouth. Lin Mo's eyelids twitched as he watched, and a thought surged in his mind: my storage treasures. Millions of corpses, millions of storage treasures, how much stuff should be inside? Even if they weren't valuable, they could be exchanged for a lot of points. But now, they were all gone. While thinking, Lin Mo activated the Battle King Tower and flew outwards without looking back. He didn't want to fight with such a guy. This guy was too terrifying. Lin Mo felt that even if this guy wasn't a God Emperor, he was already infinitely close to a God Emperor. It wasn't that he couldn't fight, but it was meaningless to fight. His purpose wasn't to kill star beasts, but to find the military star map. Now that the demon army was dead, as long as he waited for it to go back, he would have plenty of time to find it slowly. While thinking, Lin Mo looked back. In the blink of an eye, the Battle King Tower had flown 1,000,000 kilometers. It had just reached the second line of defense set up by the demons. There were still many demon corpses floating here. Just as the Battle King Tower crossed this area, Lin Mo suddenly discovered that the corpses were gone. To be precise, those corpses were flying towards a certain place at an alarming speed. Black hole serpent. Lin Mo was shocked. He didn't expect the black hole serpent to still be there. It had the characteristics of a black hole, devouring all light, making it impossible to see with the naked eye. Lin Mo immediately connected to the skeleton and entered the undead vision. In the undead vision, he saw a brilliant and incomparable soul flame, as dazzling as a star. The stronger the soul, the stronger the power of the creature. The soul flame in front of him was the only one Lin Mo had ever seen in his life. The black hole serpent was indeed still there, hundreds of thousands of kilometers away from him. It stopped in place, devouring the corpses in the starry sky. After a few seconds, it finished devouring the corpses and moved again. Lin Mo was shocked. The black hole serpent's speed was too fast, far exceeding the Battle King Tower, and it caught up in the blink of an eye. It seems that a battle is inevitable. Lin Mo sighed in his heart. He had a trump card. Although he didn't know if he could kill the black hole serpent, he wasn't actually afraid. The black hole serpent approached the Battle King Tower. Just as Lin Mo was about to attack, the black hole serpent stopped again. This was the first line of defense set up by the demons. After Lin Mo broke through it, there were fragments of warship wrecks and a large number of demon corpses everywhere. The black hole serpent was here, starting to devour the demon corpses, along with the warship fragments. Lin Mo found it strange. This guy didn't seem to want to deal with him. It followed him, seemingly only because he was traveling on the same road as it. Thinking about it, in the black hole serpent's eyes, he was as insignificant as a speck of dust. Whether in size or power, it was the same. He hadn't offended it, so there was obviously no need to deal with him. Lin Mo guessed that those demons must have disturbed its slumber. Lin Mo quietly changed direction and flew in another direction. After flying out 500,000 kilometers, he stopped, while using the undead vision to watch the black hole serpent. The black hole serpent was still indiscriminate, swallowing both demon corpses and wreckage of warships. In total, it devoured thousands of warships and over 4 million demons. How big was its appetite? After devouring all the demons and warships, the starry sky suddenly became empty. Lin Mo remained staring without blinking. If the black hole serpent continued to pursue him, he would take action. If the black hole serpent flew in another direction, he would remain still. But the result was that the black hole serpent seemed to be full, staying motionless in the starry sky. Its dark body devoured light, making it impossible to detect its existence even at close range. Even using soul perception was useless, as it would be silently devoured, making it impossible to detect its existence. Only the undead vision could see it. In the undead vision, the black hole serpent slowly coiled its body, turning itself into a sphere. Its size was too large, like a non-luminous star. If someone were to collide with it, they would definitely be shattered. Is this guy full? What is it doing coiling up here? Lin Mo thought to himself, when suddenly his brow furrowed slightly. The skeleton generals he had scattered out earlier encountered a human army. Thousands of human warships formed a sharp-edged formation, rapidly navigating through the starry sky. Lin Mo immediately flew over in the Battle King Tower, while ordering the skeleton generals to intercept the human warships. Hua Yuhang, a third-rank commandant, the first captain of the 7th Fortress Legion, with cultivation reaching the 6th rank of Divine King. This time, he was in command of the human army, heading to the 7-77 center to find the military star chart. From what he knew, the demon army had set out one step ahead of him. Moreover, they had been harassed by demon troops along the way, delaying them a bit. By calculation, they were already 40 minutes behind the demon legion. 40 minutes was enough to accomplish many things on the battlefield. Hua Yuhang felt somewhat anxious. Captain, a situation has arisen ahead. Chapter 1246. Senior, the information you provided is incomplete. The scout at the front of the team suddenly sent back information that someone was blocking the way. Hua Yuhang assumed it was another demon and immediately asked, how many demons are there? Dispatch a squad to eliminate them, the main force continues to advance, do not stop. Captain, it's not demons. Then a picture appeared in front of Hua Yuhang, showing a group of skeletons holding swords and shields, blocking the road. These skeletons all emitted a strong aura, each one was not weak. Puppets. Hua Yuhang was slightly stunned, but the situation was urgent, he needed to race against time and could not afford to delay here. After weighing the options, he decided to ignore the skeletons and continue forward. Seeing that they had no intention of stopping and were still millions of kilometers away, Lin Mo's brow couldn't help but furrow. Although their flight direction would not directly collide with the coiled black hole serpent, it might disturb it, and then they would probably all die. The tragic state of the demon army was still vivid in his mind. Lin Mo issued a command, and hundreds of skeleton generals directly raised their swords and slashed without saying a word. Hundreds of sword energies cut through the starry sky. Alarms blared in the human warships, and the warships lit up with bright light. Formations were activated, erecting defenses. The sword energy bombarded the formations, causing them to twist and deform. The skeleton generals, with attack power infinitely close to the 3rd rank of Divine King, their sword energy attacks were not inferior at all. The composition of the human army was very similar to that of the demons, with Divine Kings as captains and true gods of the 8th and 9th ranks as soldiers. The only difference was the number of people. Each human warship had tens of thousands of people, while the demon warships only had 1,000. The sudden action of the skeleton generals, and the fact that their attack power reached the Divine King realm, forced the entire team to stop. Hundreds of skeleton generals represented hundreds of Divine King realm experts, which was no small number. Although the human army was not afraid, they needed to be careful. Carelessness could lead to damage. Seeing the warship stop, the skeletons did not attack again. Hua Yuhang frowned. These skeletons did not seem to want to fight them, but only to prevent them from advancing. At this time, a light spot lit up in the distance, and more skeleton generals arrived. Lin Mo had previously scattered tens of thousands of skeleton generals because he did not know which direction the humans would come from. Now that he had found the human team, the skeleton generals quickly began to gather. Watching the increasing number of skeleton generals, Hua Yuhang became more vigilant. The defensive formations on the warships continued to operate, and the troops left the warships, forming battle formations, ready to fight at any time. However, the skeleton generals remained motionless, and Hua Yuhang did not take the initiative to attack. There were now nearly 1,000 skeleton generals. If they fought, even if his side could win, there would be some damage. He also could not leave part of the team to fight, as that would buy time but would greatly increase the damage. Hua Yuhang tried to communicate with the skeleton generals, but to no avail. These skeletons seem to be puppets, and they don't seem to have any malice, they just don't want me to continue advancing. Why is this? Who is their master behind them? As long as they were puppets, there must be an operator behind them. Hua Yuhang thought, suddenly thinking of something. Before leaving, the Legion commander told him that he had sent someone in to try to stop the demons and buy him time. At the time, Hua Yuhang didn't care. The demons had dispatched at least millions of troops. What was the use of sending one person? Even if the person sent out was a 6th-rank divine king, it would be useless. Even a genius who could fight beyond their rank, with the battle power of a 7th or even 8th-rank divine king, would not be enough. He was a 6th-rank divine king himself, and he also controlled the army, so he was very clear about the difference. Faced with an army battle formation, unless a divine lord took action, it would not be enough. Now that he thought about it, the Legion commander didn't seem to be joking. Could it be that these puppets are that person's? At this moment, he saw a golden light light up in the distance. The golden light quickly approached, and stopped in front of him a few seconds later. Seeing the Battle King Tower, Hua Yuhang breathed a sigh of relief. He recognized at a glance that this was a human magic weapon. Lin Mo also breathed a sigh of relief, he had finally caught up. This place was less than 2 million kilometers away from the area where the black hole serpent was coiled. At the advanced speed of the human army, it would only take half a minute. Hua Yuhang left the warship. He felt a threat from Lin Mo, indicating that Lin Mo was extremely strong. He had to come forward in person to deal with this kind of person. Hua Yuhang saluted Lin Mo. Hua Yuhang, captain of the 7th Fortress, 3rd-rank commandant. Lin Mo also returned the salute. Lin Mo, 2nd-rank glory warrant officer. Hua Yuhang was filled with awe. A 2nd-rank warrant officer was nothing, but a 2nd-rank glory warrant officer was completely different. The title of glory was not something that anyone could obtain. He knew Lin Mo's identity. In the Vermilion Bird battlefield, the military had not given out the title of glory in nearly 100 years. Only recently, they had given the title of glory to one person. Those who could obtain the title of glory were all geniuses, and now it seemed that it was indeed the case. Hua Yuhang asked, "Brother Lin, have you already entered the central area before?" Lin Mo nodded. The demons in the central area are all dead, and their commander has also escaped. Hua Yuhang was stunned on the spot. He couldn't help but glance at the skeleton god general, then at Lin Mo, with an incredulous look. In his understanding, the demon army could not be dealt with by a mere few hundred skeletons. Lin Mo didn't answer, but instead asked, "Captain Hua, can you contact the outside world?" Hua Yuhang nodded. The Human Emperor network temporarily covers this area. We can have simple communication with the outside world, but only voice, no video transmission. Help me make contact. I want to find Zhu the garrison chief. Lin Mo was direct and made the request without hesitation. As soon as Hua Yuhang heard the name of Zhu the garrison chief, he didn't dare to hesitate. "Please come with me." 047 He had heard the Legion commander say that Lin Mo was personally sent out by Zhu the garrison chief. Lin Mo wanted to contact Zhu the garrison chief. How could he dare to refuse? Hua Yuhang's warship was the flagship of the entire fleet, larger than other warships, and the internal layout was also different. Hua Yuhang led Lin Mo into the warship, and then activated an array in front of the command console. The array flickered with a faint light, emitting a dignified and old voice. "Yuhang, have you arrived? What's the situation?" Hua Yuhang immediately said, "Legion commander, I encountered Lin Mo, he wants to contact the garrison chief." Okay. The other party also did not hesitate and agreed directly. A few seconds later, the light in the array lit up again, and Zhu Qiwu's voice came from the array. "Kid, how's it going on your side?" Lin Mo said softly, "The demons are all dead, they didn't get the military star map." Zhu Qiwu's voice was slightly surprised. "You killed them?" Lin Mo shook his head. "Not all of them, I killed a part, about 1/5, the rest were not killed by me." Zhu Qiwu snorted. "Stop being mysterious, just say it." Lin Mo didn't do as he wished, but instead said, "Senior, the information you gave me is incomplete, I was almost killed by you." Zhu Qiwu said unhappily, "You can eat anything, but you can't say anything wrong. That information is the most complete in the entire battlefield. Then tell me, what's the matter with the giant snake in the black hole?" Chapter 1247. In the end, I still have to go. Hua Yuhang on the side was already dumbfounded. Lin Mo said he killed 1/5 of the demons. As far as he knew, the demons had dispatched at least 5 million troops this time. 1/5 is 1 million, Lin Mo single-handedly killed 1 million demon troops. Is that possible? The demons' battle formations were not decorations, the combination of sword and shield formations, and the abyss fire were amazingly lethal. Even from the army level, it was very troublesome. How did Lin Mo do it, relying on these hundreds of skeleton puppets? At this time, Zhu Qiwu's deep voice came from the array. What did you say? Say it again. His voice trembled slightly, and a clearly heavy breathing sound could be heard beside him. That was the Legion commander's voice. Obviously, the black hole snake that Lin Mo mentioned was extraordinary. Black hole snakes are common. Anyone who often comes to the 7 to 77 area will encounter them. Either kill them, or be killed, it's commonplace. But the black hole snake that Lin Mo said, didn't seem to be the same thing. Lin Mo said again, I said, there is a 100,000 kilometer long black hole snake in the central black hole, your information doesn't have it. A 100,000 kilometer long black hole snake. Hua Yuhang just felt a chill down his spine just listening to it. He had seen black hole snakes, those tens of thousands of meters long were already quite powerful. A 100,000 kilometer long black hole snake, can you still eat it? On the other side of the array, Zhu Qiwu was silent for a few seconds before speaking again, his voice becoming even deeper. I didn't expect, there really is such a star behemoth. The black hole snake ancestor really exists, the source of blackstone and black hole snakes has finally been confirmed. After Lin Mo heard this, he thought to himself, so you didn't know either. Zhu Qiwu asked, after it appeared, what happened, tell me the detailed process. Lin Mo told the story of what happened after the black hole snake ancestor appeared. Hua Yuhang listened with horror. A super large-scale soul attack directly collapsed the demon army. Then, it ate the demon army as food. Only the commander escaped using treasures. Lin Mo glanced at Hua Yuhang, so I let the skeletons come over, not to let you continue to move forward. If you disturb it, you will probably become its food too, eh? Hua Yuhang nodded. The demon army had no resistance, obviously they wouldn't be much better. Although he was confident, he was not arrogant, and he was very clear about the strength of his army. Hua Yuhang couldn't help but feel grateful to Lin Mo. If he hadn't come to stop them, his team might have been finished. Zhu Qiwu's voice came from the array. You mean, now it is entrenched in the starry sky, and you can see it? Lin Mo hummed, can see it. Then what are you going to do? Lin Mo had thought about this question a long time ago. Two ways. First, we all withdraw from the 7 to 77 area, you destroy the 7 to 77 area, and destroy the black hole snake ancestor along with the military star map. Second, I will go find it myself, let the army go back, they can't see the black hole snake, there's no point in having more people. Hua Yuhang looked at Lin Mo, and was a little puzzled by Lin Mo's choice. The second one is very dangerous, extremely dangerous. Why would Lin Mo choose this way, completely disregarding his own life? He didn't understand, but his goodwill towards Lin Mo increased sharply, and he felt that Lin Mo was a respectable person. His gaze changed. Lin Mo felt this change, a little strange, and didn't know what Hua Yuhang was thinking. Zhu Qiwu's voice came from the array again. The first method is not appropriate, we are not sure, destroying this void can kill the black hole snake ancestor. And destroying this void will cost too much. If the military star map is swallowed by the black hole snake ancestor, and it doesn't die after destroying the starry sky, then the strong people in the demon clan will have no restrictions, and they will kill the black hole snake ancestor and find everything in its body. Lin Mo said helplessly, after all, I still have to go. I just want to ask, what if the military star map is really eaten by the black hole snake ancestor? And how can I determine whether the military star map was eaten by the black hole snake ancestor? There was silence again. Hua Yuhang finally seized the opportunity to ask, Brother Lin, is there really such a big black hole snake? Lin Mo smiled slightly, do you want me to take you to see it? Hua Yuhang's smile froze on his face, forget it, forget it. The demons who had seen it are all dead, would he also die if he went to see it? Lin Mo shook his head, but you can't see it even if you go, it has the characteristics of a black hole, devouring light, and it is difficult to see with the naked eye. Even if you use soul induction, it will be absorbed, and you won't be able to sense it either. Hua Yuhang ohhed, but he realized something was wrong, and wanted to ask, since you can't see it, then how did you see it? At this time, the array flashed light again, and Zhu Qiwu's voice came out again, I will give you something, this thing can temporarily mobilize the power of the Human Emperor Network. You can locate the military star map. But the power of the Human Emperor Network is weak here, and the positioning distance is extremely limited, about only 10,000 kilometers. Lin Mo guessed that it should be a magic weapon similar to a search array, and immediately responded, all right, you give me the thing, I will go find it. But I also have a question. If it is really determined that the military star map was eaten by the black hole snake ancestor, then what should I do? Zhu Qiwu had obviously considered this question. Then you should stop and think of another way. The light of the array flickered even more. The light became more and more solid, as if some substance was being generated inside. Transmitting matter. I didn't expect this array to have the function of transmitting matter. Looking at Hua Yuhang, even he looked surprised. Lin Mo asked strangely, "Isn't this your warship? You didn't even know it had this function." Hua Yuhang shook his head, indicating that he really didn't know. Lin Mo smiled and said, "Then you're not qualified. As the owner of the battleship, how can you not even know the functions on board?" After a great battle, having walked through the realm of life and death, it was a rare moment of relaxation. Lin Mo's words increased a bit, occasionally cracking a joke. The voice of the commander of the No. 7 Fortress Legion came from the formation. It's not that he doesn't know, it's just that this formation was never meant to transport items. After this transmission, the formation will be destroyed and needs to be rebuilt upon return. So that's how it is. Lin Mo smiled at Hua Yuhang. "Sorry, I misunderstood you." Hua Yuhang quickly shook his head. "Brother Lin is right, I was just recently promoted to captain, and I'm indeed not very familiar with many of the functions on the warship." This is an honest person, Lin Mo thought to himself. The object in the formation finally completely solidified, and it was indeed a formation disk, the size of a palm, not much different from a seeker formation disk. It had a strong military style, without any decorations, far from exquisite, but definitely practical. The formation also collapsed at the moment of transmission. Before the formation collapsed, Lin Mo heard Zhu Qiwu's voice, "Don't die." Lin Mo chuckled, put away the formation disk, and activated his soul power to refine it. At the same time, he said to Hua Yuhang, "You guys go back first." Chapter 1248. Entering the Black Hole, Searching for the Star Chart. Hua Yuhang led the human army away, but they would not leave directly, they would take the humans from the 7 to 77 area with them. Lin Mo was not sure how long it would take for the black hole serpent ancestor to wake up, or whether it would continue to eat after waking up. In case it wanted another feast, all the creatures in this area would have difficulty escaping. Lin Mo dared to go look around because he had the life-saving jade pendant given by Zhu Qiwu. Moreover, he had to complete his mission. If he gave up now, who knew if it would affect his mission rating and ultimately affect his entry into the Divine City. After refining the jade disc, he learned that this jade disc was called the Star Positioning Disc and was a set of items with the military star chart. Through the jade disc, and relying on the Human Emperor network, he could indeed locate the position of the military star chart. Lin Mo was now certain of two things. First, the military star chart was definitely not just a simple record of the specific locations of the star fortress and outpost bases. It must have other uses, otherwise the demons and humans would not value it so much. As for what that use was, he didn't know, but it was definitely related to safety. Second, Lin Mo discovered that the Human Emperor network's ability to interfere with reality was more powerful than he imagined. Here, the Human Emperor network was only temporarily covering, its power was extremely weak, but it could still interfere with reality. Judging by this, in the human territory, the Human Emperor network's ability to interfere with reality would be even stronger. It's just that he had never shown it. Perhaps only such a powerful force can monitor the entire human world. Putting away his thoughts, Lin Mo had already returned to the central area. Through the undead vision, he saw that the black hole serpent ancestor was still entrenched in the starry sky. He didn't know if it had fallen asleep again, or was just digesting what it had recently eaten, and he didn't know when it would wake up. Lin Mo preferred the latter. If it were to fall asleep, it should return to the black hole. Any animal or beast has this instinct, and Lin Mo believed that the black hole serpent ancestor was no exception. When it finished digesting, it would probably wake up, and Lin Mo knew he had to hurry. He left a few skeleton divine generals standing in different positions, more than 500,000 kilometers apart, watching the black hole serpent ancestor from afar. If it made any moves, Lin Mo would know immediately. He himself went directly to the black hole. If the black hole serpent ancestor were to return, it would definitely return to the black hole, so the black hole should be searched first. If there was no military star chart in the black hole, then he would go to the stars and planets to search. But Lin Mo didn't have much hope. If the military star chart was on the stars and planets, it would probably have been found by the demons. After thinking it over, the military star chart was either hidden in the black hole, or eaten by the black hole serpent ancestor. Lin Mo didn't know how he wrenching hid the military star chart here, he really couldn't figure it out. Even what Zhu Qiwu could hardly do, he did. So, those who can become divine sovereigns are extraordinary people. Lin Mo had now removed the 2 major source spells, and his aura was constantly falling. From the 7th rank of Divine King, he instantly returned to the 1st rank of Divine King, and then became a true god. He stabilized at the 7th rank of True God. A great battle, devouring a large number of souls, forcibly pushed Lin Mo to the 7th rank of True God. With the improvement of his realm, his combat power became stronger again. The 3 most basic skeletons all possessed the combat power of the peak of True God. The Death Knight's combat power reached the Divine King realm, and the Bone Dragon was at the peak of the 1st rank of Divine King. The Death Dragon Knight had already reached the peak of the 2nd rank of Divine King. The Skeleton Divine General officially reached the 3rd rank of Divine King. According to Lin Mo's estimate, the Skeleton King's combat power should have reached the 7th rank of Divine King. If equipped with full status and blessed by the 2 major source spells, the Skeleton King might be able to compete with a powerhouse of the 8th rank of Divine King. Each rank increase could greatly improve combat power, as if there were no bottlenecks. This was completely different from other geniuses. Normally speaking, the higher the realm, the greater the gap between each rank. In the Transcendent God realm, one could challenge 3 or 4 ranks, in the True God realm, it might only be 2 or 3 ranks, and in the Divine King realm, it might only be 1 or 2 ranks. In the Divine Sovereign realm, it could only be said to be invincible in the same realm, and had lost the ability to fight beyond ranks. As for fighting across realms, it was even more impossible. If one could still challenge 1 or 2 ranks beyond their own in the Divine Sovereign realm, then they would be considered a top genius, and would be a key target for human cultivation. But looking at himself, Lin Mo's expression was strange. If this continued, Lin Mo felt that once he reached the Divine King realm, he might be able to compete with a Divine Sovereign. According to past experience, once he reached the Divine King realm, the number of undead legions could also increase significantly. Then, using the Power Gathering spell, his improvement would be amazing. The key was whether his soul and body could withstand it. The body is not a big problem, the difficulty is still the soul. But the body cannot be abandoned either. I don't know how to continue to strengthen the body. When I reach the Divine King realm, I will ask carefully, there must be a way. While thinking, he had already crossed 2 stars and plunged into the territory of the black hole. This was the 2nd time Lin Mo had entered the world belonging to the black hole, but the previous time didn't count. At that time, he was brought in by someone, and he didn't feel anything. This time, when he crossed the boundary of the black hole, he felt the power of the black hole. A huge tearing force fell on him, as if to tear his body into pieces. Lin Mo felt as if countless hands were pulling him. The pulling force was not a pure physical force, but contained laws, the black hole laws belonging to the black hole. Fortunately, there was a passive spell that distributed a lot of damage, which didn't cause any harm to Lin Mo. Not only was the body being pulled, but the soul was also being pulled by a huge force. However, Lin Mo's soul was strong enough and was not affected. The pulling force acted on the crystal barrier of the soul world, only causing the soul world to vibrate. No wonder divine kings are in danger in black holes. Because the body's strength is insufficient to withstand the constant pulling force of the black hole. The demons' bodies are generally stronger than humans, so they can come in as long as they reach the 5th rank of Divine King, and there won't be much danger. With the human body, at least the 8th rank of Divine King or above is required to act here. No wonder humans know nothing about the black holes here. The 8th rank of Divine King cannot enter, and the 6th rank of Divine King will die if they enter, it's really unsolvable. Lin Mo analyzed various information about the black hole, and became even more curious about he-wrenching. How did he do it? How could he put the military star chart here? It was dark in front of him. Lin Mo did not change direction, and kept falling in the direction of the strongest gravity. Suddenly, a ray of light came into view, followed by more and more light. The darkness disappeared, and a magnificent and peculiar world appeared before his eyes. A large amount of light is distorted here, unable to escape due to the black hole's powerful gravity, and can only fly around and collide within the black hole. The light intertwines, forming a bizarre world that is difficult to describe. So, the inside of a black hole isn't all darkness. Darkness is just the surface, the inside is bright. The light is chaotic, making it impossible to discern any images. This feels like seeing jumbled images during teleportation. Lin Mo activated the star positioning disc. At the same time, he summoned a skeleton and switched to undead vision. In undead vision, the chaotic colors disappeared, and the world was left with only gray and white. Chapter 1249. Strike while the iron is hot. The star positioning disc emitted a faint light, which appeared gray in undead vision. As for the true colors, they were completely unimportant. The star positioning disc lit up briefly, but nothing else happened. It could only locate military star charts within a 10,000-kilometer radius, which wasn't very large. It was normal that it couldn't sense anything. Choosing a direction, Lin Mo flew forward rapidly, not wanting to waste time. He left a skeleton general in place to use as a marker, which was more convenient than making a mark. Every few thousand kilometers, Lin Mo activated the star positioning disc and left behind a skeleton. He measured the black hole's land, and gradually, this bizarre world became filled with skeletons. So, a black hole is a sphere. Lin Mo sensed the shape of the black hole and discovered that it was actually a sphere, not much different from ordinary stars. However, within the black hole, because a large amount of matter was attracted, it was compressed together under the immense gravity, making the black hole's land extremely solid. Even if Lin Mo went all out, it would be difficult to leave a mark on it. What is this? In this bizarre world, Lin Mo saw a large pit. A large amount of light was being sucked into this bottomless pit. This pit seemed to lead to another world, or perhaps to the core of the black hole. When Lin Mo looked at the pit, he suddenly felt a sense of horror. He realized that he couldn't go in. If he did, he would surely die. Although he was looking for the military star chart, he wouldn't risk his life. He bypassed the pit and continued searching in the black hole. He didn't know how much time had passed, but he finally searched the entire black hole and still found nothing. With a hint of disappointment, Lin Mo left the black hole world. Until the tearing force on his body disappeared, his vision gradually returned, and he saw the distant stars and planets. The inside and outside of the black hole were like two different worlds, especially that bottomless pit, which made him feel a fatal threat. He withdrew his gaze from the black hole, connected to the distant skeleton general, and saw the black hole serpent ancestor still entrenched in the starry sky. The black hole serpent ancestor's soul fire was incredibly strong, burning fiercely. It wasn't really swallowed by that thing, was it? Lin Mo muttered, and suddenly his eyes narrowed slightly. In undead vision, the black hole serpent ancestor's soul fire suddenly changed. The soul fire, which had been stable and blazing, suddenly became violent. Its body also constantly swelled and heaved, and the black scales on its body beat automatically, making a popping sound. The black hole serpent ancestor opened its huge mouth, spat out its long tongue, and its eyes glowed with a bloody red light. A huge suction force grew on its body, and Lin Mo felt the surrounding space suddenly become dim, as the surrounding light was attracted to it. At this moment, its suction force exceeded that of the black hole, and it began to compete for the light of the stars. Lin Mo personally felt this huge suction force. If he didn't resist, he would be pulled over. Lin Mo was puzzled. What's going on? Did it eat too much and have indigestion? Looking at its appearance, it seems to be in some pain. The black hole serpent ancestor's appearance was indeed somewhat painful, and its scarlet snake eyes radiated a terrifying light. Absorbing a large amount of light, the black hole-like body revealed its outline in the starry sky. The soul fire became more and more explosive, burning like a pillar of fire reaching the sky. The black hole serpent ancestor suddenly let out a sharp roar, and an extremely powerful soul attack swept across the starry sky. Lin Mo's vision went black, and the several skeleton generals observing it instantly died. The next second, the skeleton generals were resurrected, and Lin Mo quickly reconnected to undead vision. In undead vision, a large amount of soul fire appeared. Lin Mo was shocked. It split up. Each soul fire represented a black hole serpent. Of course, they were just ordinary black hole serpents, not very powerful. Lin Mo had killed many of these black hole serpents. So, this is how black hole serpents come to be. No wonder it's called the black hole serpent ancestor. It really is the ancestor of black hole serpents. Are those black stones? While splitting into black hole serpents, many black fragments were also split from its body. These black fragments were black stones, highly valuable black stones. The black hole serpent ancestor was not only the source of black hole serpents, but also the source of black stones. The next second, the black hole serpent ancestor let out another sharp roar, and the thousands of black hole serpents and tens of thousands of black stones that had split off scattered in all directions of the starry sky, disappearing in an instant. Then, the black hole serpent ancestor turned around and flew towards the black hole. Lin Mo found that its speed was much slower than before, as if it had become much weaker after splitting up. But even so, Lin Mo didn't want to provoke it. Even if this guy was weak, it was still much stronger than him. Lin Mo restrained his aura and secretly activated the star positioning disc. He stood on the path that the black hole serpent ancestor was passing through, maintaining a distance of about 3,000 kilometers. This distance was almost touching the body for the black hole serpent ancestor. After all, its body length exceeded 100,000 kilometers, and a mere 3,000 kilometers could be exceeded with a casual flick. Lin Mo tried his best to restrain his aura, treating himself as a speck of dust, motionless. When the black hole serpent ancestor's head passed, the star positioning disc did not move. When its abdomen passed, the star positioning disc suddenly lit up, and an arrow appeared. But the black hole serpent ancestor was too fast and quickly moved away, exceeding the range that the star positioning disc could sense. It's really in its belly. Lin Mo's heart was startled, and he felt a headache. This was the worst result, but also the best result. The best result was that if it was eaten by the black hole serpent ancestor, it might fall into the hands of the demon race. The worst result was that if he wanted to come back, it would become extremely difficult. Now there were two choices in front of Lin Mo. One was to go back, tell Zhu Qiwu, and then let Zhu Qiwu and the others have a headache and figure out a solution. The second was for him to take action and kill the black hole serpent ancestor, but he didn't have much confidence. The black hole serpent ancestor was very weak now. If he chose to kill it, now was the best time. If he missed this opportunity, he was afraid that there would be no other chance. If he let it return to the black hole, or even drill into that big pit. This question was only considered for 0.1 seconds, flashed through Lin Mo's mind, and then he had an answer. Take advantage of its weakness to end its life. His eyes burst with a sharp light, his killing intent instantly reaching its peak. The domain of laws unfolded, and the skeleton god generals collectively appeared, simultaneously unleashing sword energy towards the black hole serpent ancestor. The sword energy of a tier 3 god king landed on the black hole serpent ancestor, producing a clanging sound, as if striking against steel. In the undead vision, some marks appeared on the scales of the black hole serpent ancestor. The sword energy failed to cause any real damage to it. This outcome was completely within Lin Mo's expectations. It would have been strange if the skeleton god generals had been effective. 9-star art. Summon Skeleton King. With a point of his finger, the skeleton throne appeared in the starry sky, and the skeleton king slowly rose from the throne. The skeleton king had already reached tier 7 god king, possessing an incredibly powerful aura. A scarlet cloak fluttered in the starry sky. As the skeleton king appeared, the aura around Lin Mo continued to rise. Source art. Power gathering. Source art. Strengthen troops. Lin Mo's power surged, rapidly reaching the God King realm. Ignoring the swelling sensation in his soul, Lin Mo crossed that threshold. Chapter 1250. Black Hole Laws, A Good Fight. The power of the skeletons continuously poured into his soul, and Lin Mo's power level constantly increased. Finally, his soul reached its limit, its true limit. Any more, and his soul would explode on the spot. Even in its current state, it could not be maintained for too long. Simultaneously activating two major source arts could not last long in the first place without external replenishment. With Lin Mo's current strength, it would last less than 2 minutes. Now his realm had reached the peak of the God King realm, perhaps slightly inferior to a true peak God King in terms of laws, but not by much. Time was short. Within the 1 or 2 seconds of Lin Mo's ascension, the black hole serpent ancestor had already looked towards the skeleton god generals. In its eyes, the skeleton god generals were like dust. Only the 10,000-meter-tall skeleton king might be worth something to eat. However, the black hole serpent ancestor was clearly not interested in skeletons without flesh and blood, and without the breath of life. This was also one of the reasons why it had ignored the skeletons before. In its eyes, skeletons without the breath of life were like a pile of rotten meat, not as good as eating some materials. If the skeletons had not actively provoked it, it would have been too lazy to pay attention. It turned its head, looked at these dust-like existences, and opened its mouth to let out a sharp cry. The cry contained a powerful soul attack, a full-range assault. In Lin Mo's soul world, the phantom of the black hole serpent ancestor appeared again, and the soul attack shook the soul world. The skeleton god generals collapsed one after another. Over half of the million skeleton god generals died directly. The soul attack was so terrifying that it clearly told Lin Mo that quantity does not necessarily play a role in the face of true power. But Lin Mo also deeply felt the weakness of the black hole serpent ancestor. If it had not split, the black hole serpent ancestor's attack would have left no survivors among the skeleton god generals. The black hole serpent ancestor seemed to have done something insignificant, turning its head again after roaring, ignoring them. It wanted to return to the black hole, have a good sleep, and sleep for 1,000 or 800 years. At this moment, another sword light lit up. The skeleton king acted. Its god-slaying sword targeted the head of the black hole serpent ancestor. In the sword light, the head of the black hole serpent ancestor tilted slightly, then twisted back. Lin Mo saw anger in its eyes. This sword of the skeleton king had caused it pain. In the undead vision, several scales cracked on the head of the black hole serpent ancestor, revealing some liquid of unknown color. It should be its blood. Effective. Under the blessing of the strengthened troops art, the skeleton king's attack power had reached at least the peak of Tier 7 God King, and might even have reached the threshold of Tier 8 God King. Lin Mo could not make an accurate judgment, but that was not important. What was important was that the skeleton king's attack had injured the black hole serpent ancestor. The black hole serpent ancestor opened its mouth in anger. A huge suction force was generated, and the newly resurrected skeleton god generals collectively flew uncontrollably towards the black hole serpent ancestor. Lin Mo's heart stirred, and the skeleton god generals disappeared instantly, being taken back by him. The skeleton king was not affected by the suction force. Lin Mo unfolded his wings of the undead and took the huge bone sword from the skeleton king's hand. The huge bone quickly shrank, and when it was held in Lin Mo's hand, it was no different from an ordinary long sword. The skeleton king's bone sword had no additional functions, but it was strong enough, sharp enough, and comparable to a god king realm magic weapon. At least it could withstand Lin Mo's power. Art. God slaying. Sword light burst out brilliantly on the black hole serpent ancestor's body, its scales cracked, and the black hole serpent ancestor cried out in pain. This time there was no soul attack, but a scream caused by pain. The sound also spread throughout the starry sky in the form of soul sound. Almost half of the Area 7 to 77 could hear this sound. The anger in the black hole serpent ancestor's eyes was even stronger. This inconspicuous little guy had injured it again. Its body twisted, and its huge tail swept over, moving at an astonishing speed. Lin Mo vibrated his wings of the undead, wanting to sever the soul lock. At this moment, the black hole serpent ancestor's eyes emitted a scarlet light. Lin Mo's soul roared, and his whole person suddenly stiffened. The black hole serpent ancestor revealed a new method. Its soul attack could not only be emitted with sound, but also with its eyes. The roar was all-encompassing, but the eye's soul attack was for a single target. The eye's soul attack was even stronger, and even Lin Mo was affected. Outside the soul world, the phantom of the black hole serpent ancestor appeared again, also a scarlet light, hitting the crystal barrier like a sharp arrow. The crystal barrier blocked most of the soul impact, but a small part of the attack still penetrated the soul barrier and attacked the soul. Purple light appeared on the surface of the soul, and together with the soul garment, built a solid defense line. The soul attack was blocked, but the soul also paused for a moment because of this. The whole process happened in an instant, no more than 0.1 seconds before and after. But 0.1 seconds was enough for a strong person of this realm to do many things. When Lin Mo came back to his senses, a gust of wind roared, and the black hole serpent ancestor's tail was close at hand. Lin Mo had no chance to dodge and could only withstand it head-on. The domain of laws quickly shrank back to surround his whole body, and after the bone armor flashed, it shattered in an instant. Then Lin Mo was swept away by the giant tail and flew into the distant sky with a whoosh. This strike of the black hole serpent ancestor was enough to shatter stars. The power was unimaginable. Not only was it a pure physical attack, but it also contained the power of laws. The laws quickly absorbed Lin Mo's power and vitality, and then the laws exploded, using Lin Mo's own power and vitality to attack Lin Mo. The whole process was like a black hole sucking in light and matter. After a certain degree, the black hole collapsed, and everything it absorbed would be spit out. The speed was not fast when sucking in, but when spitting out, it was like a cannonball, very terrifying. This was the black hole law, a terrifying law ranked in the first echelon. The skeletons in the art of the constellation collapsed rapidly, again and again, stopping only after collapsing 4 times in a row. This attack also contained the ability to track the soul, vowing to kill Lin Mo. Antares once said that soul tracking was a common attack method in the Great World. But after Lin Mo entered the Great World, he found that this was not the case. Not to mention transcendent gods, even many true gods would not use soul tracking. Now Lin Mo finally experienced what soul tracking was: one attack, dealing 2.7 times the damage. The purpose was to kill the target. It's not that no one knows how to use soul tracking, but the transcendent gods and true gods don't use it. Antares has too high a vision. What he said should be those above the God King realm. Lin Mo was sent flying hundreds of thousands of kilometers before barely regaining control of his body. At this time a huge suction force acted on him. His body uncontrollably flew towards the black hole serpent ancestor. The black hole serpent opened its mouth, as if it contained a black hole, forcibly pulling Lin Mo back. The speed was so fast that it almost exceeded Lin Mo's own speed. The wings of the undead vibrated frantically, fighting against the suction, buying Lin Mo some time. The sword light lit up. Lin Mo once again slashed out a sword. The target was the black hole serpent's mouth. At the same time, he pointed out with his left hand. Red light filled the sky. After a sword strike, Lin Mo didn't look at the result. A virtual bow appeared in front of him. Chapter 1251. Godly Sovereign Strike. The starry sky shatters. The virtual bow was constructed with laws. Soul power pulled open the bowstring. An arrow shot out. Borrowing the spell of the skeleton soul shooter, supplemented by the curse of time, a dual attack on the soul was launched. The black hole serpent ancestor is good at soul attacks. It doesn't mean its soul defense is strong. These are two different things. Lin Mo wasn't very sure, so he had to try. The soul attack arrived first, almost simultaneously with the god-slaying sword. The black hole serpent ancestor trembled all over. Sword light lit up in its mouth. The huge snake tongue was almost cut off. Its whole body trembled violently, making a hoarse scream. Its soul defense wasn't strong. Lin Mo's soul attack could cause it considerable damage. Under the attack, Lin Mo had already rushed to the black hole serpent ancestor's side. The bone sword in his hand slashed down like a storm. The scales shattered, turning into countless fragments, exploding at the bone sword. The skeleton king's sword was sharp enough, solid enough, allowing Lin Mo to attack without any worries, without worrying about shattering. The black hole serpent ancestor came back to its senses, roared angrily, and launched another wave of soul attacks. At the same time, its body trembled violently. The scales all over its body opened, bursting out with intense black light. The black light intertwined into a dense net, suddenly opening. Lin Mo's expression changed slightly. He raised the bone sword to block in front of him, colliding with the black light. A huge force came from the sword, directly knocking Lin Mo away. In the part where the bone sword came into contact with the black light, Lin Mo felt the power of the black hole law. At that moment of contact, a large amount of his power was lost, and his body felt a burst of weakness. The black hole law can devour power, devour vitality. At the moment of contact just now, the black hole law devoured part of his power. Lin Mo's heart stirred. The power of the skeletons flowed over, instantly replenishing his consumption. The black hole serpent ancestor's scales fell off its body, piece by piece, like an animal shedding its skin. The black hole serpent ancestor no longer had a single scale on its body. Billions of scales were intertwined by the black hole law, forming a large ball, like a brand new black hole. The black hole law erupted. The large ball gave birth to a terrifying suction, absorbing everything within 1,000,000 kilometers around. At the same time, the black ball began to rotate violently. The black light on the ball was like a sharp sword. The entire black ball turned into a cutter. Everything that was sucked over would be cut into pieces by the black light. Lin Mo tried his best, but it was difficult to resist this suction, and was slowly pulled over. The black hole serpent ancestor's control over the black hole law completely surpassed Lin Mo's half-baked skill. No matter how strong Lin Mo's power was, his true cultivation was only at the 7th rank of true God. His understanding of the laws was only at the level of the 7th rank of true God. In a pure battle of laws, Lin Mo was completely defeated. The black hole law was also in the first echelon of laws. Even if it was weaker than the undying law, it wouldn't be much weaker. Lin Mo felt that he had completely misjudged the black hole serpent ancestor's battle strength. Even if it was in a weak state, it still had the terrifying battle strength surpassing the peak of the God King. Lin Mo felt that in its prime, it could completely compete with a godly sovereign. Even now, it could completely crush all god kings. Looking at the black ball getting closer and closer, if he was sucked onto it, he would inevitably be crushed to pieces. Even if he revived, he would only die one more time. Lin Mo forcefully threw the bone sword in his hand. The Skeleton King responded and caught the bone sword. The bone sword quickly grew larger, exceeding 10,000 meters. The Skeleton King waved the bone sword with both hands, first swinging out a god-slaying strike, then accelerating towards the black ball, colliding with the black ball one step ahead of Lin Mo. The light of the god-slaying sword exploded on the black ball. The violently rotating black ball suddenly paused, showing a slight pause. The Skeleton King took the opportunity to pounce on the black ball, ignoring the black light falling on its body, and frantically slashed the black ball with the bone sword in its hand. Lin Mo felt that the suction on his body had weakened a lot, seized the opportunity, the wings of the undead shook, and the whole person crossed the black ball, approaching the black hole serpent ancestor. The black hole serpent ancestor's body was not protected by black scales, revealing smooth snake skin. Although the defense was also not weak, it was still much worse than scales. Its moves were strong, but it also had fatal flaws. The black hole serpent ancestor looked at Lin Mo, its eyes emitting a scarlet light, and once again used a soul attack. At the same time, its giant tail whipped over like a whip, exactly the same as the previous attack. Lin Mo's soul power exploded in full force. The talent giant tree stretched out from the soul world, and when the black hole serpent ancestor's phantom just appeared, thousands of branches had already whipped up. The 9-colored dragon soul crystal also emerged, cooperating with the talent giant tree to attack the black hole serpent ancestor's phantom. The black hole serpent ancestor's soul attack was destroyed before it could even form. Soul attacks have always been two-sided. Once broken, the one who gets hurt is oneself. The black hole serpent's soul shook, temporarily falling into a state of distraction. Even the whipping of its tail stopped weakly. This state won't last long, at most half a second. Half a second was a very rare opportunity. A million skeleton god generals appeared in the starry sky, simultaneously slashing out sword energy towards the black hole serpent's head. A piece of flesh appeared in Lin Mo's hand. It was the flesh of the Abyss Dragon Demon's second clone. The Abyss Dragon Demon's second clone was a godly sovereign. Although he didn't know the specific realm, Lin Mo felt that it wouldn't be weaker than the 5th rank of godly sovereign. And the black hole serpent in front of him, at most was a 1st-rank godly sovereign, or even less than a godly sovereign, otherwise he wouldn't have been injured by himself. The identity of the starry sky beast gave it a powerful life force. If it was in its prime, Lin Mo directly using the Abyss Dragon Demon's flesh, might not be able to blow it up. But now it was in a weak state, and was injured by himself. The scales were separated from its body. Lin Mo felt the opportunity had come. A sense of danger descended. The black hole serpent ancestor came back to its senses, and suddenly made a terrifying cry. But it was too late. The Abyss Dragon Demon flesh in Lin Mo's hand exploded. Stellar level spell. Corpse explosion. The next second, Lin Mo saw an incredible scene. The starry sky of tens of thousands of kilometers where the black hole serpent ancestor was located, appeared spider-like dense cracks like glass, and then exploded with a bang. Exploding together with the space, was the black hole serpent ancestor's head, and tens of thousands of kilometers of its body. The black hole serpent ancestor's body, which was as long as 100,000 kilometers, at least half of it was destroyed. Lin Mo was a little shocked. Is this what a full strike of a high-level godly sovereign looks like? The corpse explosion detonated the Abyss Dragon Demon's flesh, equivalent to the full strike of the Abyss Dragon Demon's second clone in its peak state. After various buffs, it was even stronger than a full strike. It directly collapsed the starry sky, revealing the mysterious world behind the starry sky. A brilliant light flashed before his eyes, followed by a riot of energy flow, rushing out from the gap in the world. Lin Mo was immediately overturned, flying backwards tens of thousands of kilometers. The black hole serpent ancestor's flesh was also overturned. The broken corpses were blown everywhere. A million skeleton god generals were also like this, uncontrollably flying backwards. The scene became chaotic for a while. Lin Mo saw from it an object flashing with brilliant light, like a scroll. Military star chart. Recognizing it at a glance, this was the military star chart. Lin Mo flapped his wings of the undead, flying against the chaotic energy squared A, and desperately grabbed the military star chart. The starfield gap that had been blasted open was quickly smoothed over and disappeared by the rules of the Great World. In the starry sky, besides the ubiquitous flesh and blood and the black hole serpent ancestor's severed body, there was also the black sphere composed of scales. The black sphere had already shattered, turning into countless scales, floating in the starry sky like garbage. You deserve to die. Before he could even breathe a sigh of relief, a sudden angry roar resounded through the starry sky, the furious voice coming from the black hole, and a chill rose from Lin Moyu's back. Chapter 1252. A terrifying existence, escaping death. The chill spread, quickly expanding from his back to his entire body. In that instant, Lin Moyu felt the threat of death. He was certain that this angry roar, filled with killing intent, came from the center of the black hole, that bottomless pit. When he had been gazing at the pit, he had felt a deadly danger. If he had dared to jump in at that time to explore the mysteries of the pit, he would have undoubtedly died. The battlefield contained not only opportunities but also various hidden dangers. Some dangers would cause even divine venerables to perish upon encountering them. Over the countless years, the number of divine venerables who had fallen on the battlefield was not small. Without even thinking, Lin Moyu put away the military star chart, flapped his wings of the undead, and fled without looking back. Suddenly, a suction force landed on him, and no matter how hard he tried, he could not fly forward a single step. The suction force from the black hole grew stronger and stronger, quickly spreading to his entire body, rendering Lin Moyu unable to move. This force pulled Lin Moyu towards the black hole. Lin Moyu seemed to see the pit in the black hole, revealing a sinister smile towards him. The existence in the pit seemed to want to tear him into pieces. If he entered the black hole, Lin Moyu knew that he would undoubtedly die, and no one could save him. A voice suddenly echoed in his soul, "Since you killed this a degree, pet, then you shall accompany this a degree." The voice made Lin Moyu's hair stand on end, and he gritted his teeth, "Accompany your ass." He looked at the black hole serpent ancestor's flesh and blood that was flying back with him, and with a slight movement of his finger, he barely managed to release a wisp of undead flames. Stellar level spell, Undead Rebirth. The flames quickly enveloped the black hole serpent ancestor's flesh and blood, and the black hole serpent ancestor was reborn, its soul reorganized. In less than 2 seconds, the black hole serpent ancestor reappeared in the starry sky. But this time, the black hole serpent ancestor had become Lin Moyu's reborn undead. At the instant the black hole serpent ancestor was reborn, Lin Moyu felt the suction force coming from the black hole lessen by a few points. The black hole serpent ancestor used its enormous body to stand in front of Lin Moyu, blocking most of the suction force. His body finally regained some freedom, and without even thinking, Lin Moyu directly took out the jade token that Zhu Qiwu had given him and crushed it with force. The jade token bloomed with dazzling light, enveloping Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu disappeared into the light. With the target escaping, an angry roar once again came from the black hole, the sound resounding throughout the entire 7-77 area. All living beings in the 7-77 area collectively had their souls destroyed at this moment, dying completely. The 7-77 area instantly turned into a true dead zone, a graveyard. In the 7-77 forward base, Zhu Qiwu and the others were waiting. A dozen minutes ago, Hua Yuhang's team had already returned, and now they were just waiting for Lin Moyu. Zhu Qiwu's eyelids suddenly twitched a few times, and he received a message from the Human Emperor Network. His entire body trembled violently, and his face revealed shock. Fortunately, there was no one by his side, and no one noticed his expression. He murmured, "In the black hole, what exactly is there?" "That brat, nothing will happen, right?" As soon as he finished speaking, the teleportation array lit up. Zhu Qiwu immediately looked over. During their operation, the forward base's teleportation array was in a closed state. There were not many people who had the authority to use the teleportation array. Lin Moyu's teleportation jade token was connected to the teleportation array. In the light, Lin Moyu's figure appeared. Upon seeing this, Zhu Qiwu could not help but breathe a sigh of relief. Lin Moyu stood motionless in the teleportation array, and after a while, purple light emerged from his body. His soul had collapsed after returning. This was the sequelae caused by the gathering power spell exceeding its limits. Subsequently, his soul was reborn under the complete rebirth talent, returning to its peak state, even stronger than before. When killing the black hole serpent ancestor, the gathering power spell absorbed part of the black hole serpent ancestor's soul power, nourishing the soul like a great tonic. Allowing Lin Moyu's cultivation to advance another step, not far from the 8th rank of true god. After the complete rebirth, carrying the joy of escaping death, Lin Moyu still stood motionless in the teleportation array. With his eyes slightly closed, his consciousness crossed infinite distances, connecting to the consciousness of the black hole serpent ancestor. Although he could not directly connect to the corresponding vision like an undead, a simple connection of consciousness was still not a problem. Through the black hole serpent ancestor's consciousness feedback, he could also obtain a lot of information. It was a pity that the black hole serpent ancestor did not have high intelligence, and the information fed back was chaotic and disorganized. Lin Moyu felt that the black hole serpent ancestor had come to another world, a world that was very cold and had no temperature. This is the world inside the pit. What exactly is in the pit? Lin Moyu thought in his heart, then he felt an incomparably huge hand placed on the black hole serpent ancestor. The black hole serpent ancestor was 100,000 kilometers long, and its head alone was several thousand kilometers long. But such a big head could be held by that giant hand. How big must the owner of that giant hand be? It was unimaginable. That giant hand stroked the black hole serpent ancestor's head, seemingly very gently, but in the next second, it suddenly pinched the black hole serpent ancestor's head. Then the black hole serpent ancestor's head was crushed, and the connection of consciousness was severed. The black hole serpent ancestor was dead, and after becoming a reborn undead, the black hole serpent ancestor's strength would return to its peak state. At least a black hole serpent ancestor comparable to a divine venerable had died just like that. That powerful existence in the pit, the black hole serpent ancestor's master, had killed the black hole serpent ancestor so easily. To what extent must he be strong? Lin Moyu severed the connection of consciousness, slowly opened his eyes, and saw Zhu Qiwu not far away. Zhu Qiwu was looking at him, his eyes carrying inquiry. After the panting just now, Lin Moyu had completely calmed down. He walked over in 2 or 3 steps, took out the military star chart and handed it to Zhu Qiwu. "Senior, the star chart has been retrieved." Zhu Qiwu took the military star chart and did not rush to open it, but looked at Lin Moyu. "Did you encounter danger?" Lin Moyu nodded. "I almost didn't make it back." Zhu Qiwu said in a deep voice, "Tell me in detail." Earlier, he had received information transmitted from the Human Emperor Network, knowing that a terrifying existence was hidden in the 7-77 area. There was no more information. If he wanted to know in detail, he still had to ask Lin Moyu, the person involved. Zhu Qiwu flicked his finger lightly, and the invisible power of the law enveloped the two of them, and only he could hear what Lin Moyu said. Li Nuo Zhao. Lin Moyu told everything that had happened before, including how he had killed the black hole serpent ancestor. There was no need to hide this, including the 2 major source spells. Zhu Qiwu knew about them all. After listening to Lin Moyu's words, Zhu Qiwu was silent, pondering for a moment before speaking. "According to your description, the black hole serpent ancestor should have the strength of a half-step divine venerable." Lin Mo nodded. "That's about right. A demigod is not quite a god, but far surpasses a common god king. Some call demigods the peak of god kings, which is essentially the same thing. The gap between the god-king realm and the god realm is vast. Reaching the limit of the god-king realm, but not yet the god realm, is the peak of the god-king realm, also known as the demigod realm. Lin Mo's power had previously reached the peak of the god-king realm, but due to deficiencies in the laws, he was somewhat inferior to the black hole serpent ancestor. If his laws were as strong as the black hole serpent ancestor's, he wouldn't have needed to fear the black hole serpent ancestor at all. The black hole serpent ancestor is just a pet. What level of power do you think it is? Chapter 1253, He Wrenching in the Military Star Chart. Facing Zhu Qiwu's question, Lin Mo pondered for a few seconds, a wry smile appearing on his face. "You're putting me in a difficult position. With my limited knowledge, how could I possibly discern the other party's level? It's already fortunate that I could escape with my life this time. If it weren't for the jade token you gave me, Senior, I would have certainly died inside." Zhu Qiwu smiled. He knew Lin Mo was telling the truth. It's truly unexpected that there would be someone above the black hole serpent ancestor. Zhu Qiwu's eyes sparkled with a keen light, and Lin Mo seemed to see a strong fighting spirit. Judging by his appearance, he seemed very interested in the being in the large pit. Lin Mo felt that Zhu Qiwu was not necessarily stronger than that terrifying being. At most, they were evenly matched, neck and neck. There was no reason, it was purely a feeling. After a moment, the fighting spirit in Zhu Qiwu's eyes disappeared. "It's a pity, due to the limitations of the rules, I can't go in, and he can't come out either. Hearing this, Lin Mo's heart skipped a beat. It seemed that Zhu Qiwu knew something about the other party's identity. Even if he didn't know the other party's identity, he should know their origin, otherwise he wouldn't have said such a thing. But Lin Mo also knew that even if he asked, Zhu Qiwu wouldn't tell him. His strength was too weak, he didn't need to know so much. Zhu 840 Qiwu changed the subject, successfully retrieving the military star chart this time is a great achievement, you will be rewarded handsomely. Lin Mo said, this is all Junior should do. Lin Mo spoke very sincerely, and the fact was indeed so. The military star chart was extremely important to the human race, and he would do his best to retrieve it whenever possible. Moreover, the reason he dared to risk his life this time was mainly because he had the teleportation jade token given by Zhu Qiwu, and the flesh and blood of the Abyss Dragon Demon's second clone. This was his confidence to protect his life. After all, it was only Area 7 to 77, and the Black Hole Serpent ancestor couldn't possibly be outrageously strong. As for the being in the black hole, that was an accident, an unexpected accident that no one could have foreseen. Zhu Qiwu looked at Lin Mo, are you very interested in the military star chart, thinking it has other uses? As expected, he had been seen through. Lin Mo knew that some of his thoughts couldn't be concealed from the person in front of him. After all, he had lived for thousands of years, becoming wise with age. Therefore, Lin Mo didn't try to hide too much, I am indeed a little interested. If it were just a map, the demon race wouldn't have made such a big fuss. Zhu Qiwu smiled, come, let me show you, and by the way, ask him how he did it. These words had other meanings, deeper implications. Lin Mo didn't ask any further questions, and followed Zhu Qiwu away. The two came into the starry sky, and Zhu Qiwu summoned his own vehicle. A god-level battleship, comparable to a war god fortress. After entering the battleship immediately sealed itself off, completely isolating itself from the outside world. Zhu Qiwu took out the military star chart, slowly opened it, and then activated it. The military star chart bloomed with brilliant light, projecting a holographic star map. This was the star map of the Vermilion Bird battlefield, which Lin Mo had seen in Fortress No. 1, but it had some additional things on it, making it more detailed. At this time, Zhu Qiwu said, He Rensheng, come out. Lin Mo was slightly stunned. Zhu Qiwu was actually calling He Rensheng. Wasn't He Rensheng already killed by him? He had seen it with his own eyes, there was no mistake. After Zhu Qiwu's words fell for several seconds, there was no response in the holographic star map. Zhu Qiwu frowned slightly, his tone becoming unkind. He Rensheng, do you want me to do it myself? Strands of killing intent spread out, and finally there was a reaction in the holographic star map. Within the star map, a figure slowly emerged, then flew out of it, and finally left the military star chart, appearing in the battleship. He Rensheng left the military star chart, respectfully saluting Zhu Qiwu, greetings, Garrison Lord. Lin Mo was shocked to see that the person in front of him was really He Rensheng. However, his aura was only at the 6th rank of the God King realm. He Rensheng was clearly a god, clearly killed by Zhu Qiwu. Why was there a 6th rank God King He Rensheng here? Clone. Lin Mo was shocked, realizing something. Zhu Qiwu waved his hand, speak, don't think about hiding anything, you know you can't hide it. He Rensheng nodded, I wouldn't dare to hide anything before the Garrison Lord. When I was in the true God realm, during a great battle, I was controlled by the bewitchment demon and became a puppet. ABCJ, at that time, there were about 1,000 people who were controlled by that bewitchment demon along with me. Later, I cultivated and improved all the way, eventually reaching the God realm and becoming an elder of Fortress No. 7. The bewitchment demon's control has always existed, and as you know, even if I became a god, it was difficult to get rid of it. This kind of control erodes the soul, making betrayal impossible. Speaking of this, He Rensheng paused. Zhu Qiwu didn't interrupt him, signaling him to continue. He Rensheng continued, but as you also know, the soul of a god is strong enough, and I also have my own thoughts. Sometimes I would immerse my soul in the river of laws, cleansing my soul. I am a god of the human race, and from the bottom of my heart, it is impossible for me to betray the human race, I would rather die than betray. But under the control of the bewitchment demon, I can't even die if I want to. And the most troublesome thing is that I can't tell anyone about this. As soon as I say it, the bewitchment demon will sense it, and he will completely control my mind. With my combat power, if caught off guard, it would be enough to cause devastating damage to the army in Fortress Number 7, so I can't say it. Later, I looked for a lot of information, and finally found a way to get rid of the bewitchment demon. I spent hundreds of years finding various rare materials, and finally refined a clone. Then, in the River of Laws, under the cleansing of the laws, I separated 1/3 of my soul and injected it into the clone. With the protection of the River of Laws, the separated 1/3 of the soul is pure and has not been contaminated by the bewitchment demon. And what I do in the River of Laws cannot be detected by the bewitchment demon. Coincidentally, I was assigned to manage the military star chart. The bewitchment demon naturally knew about it, and he ordered me to steal the military star chart. The military star chart had to be stolen, I couldn't refuse, and I couldn't tell anyone. But after I stole it, I could hide it, not letting anyone know. The bewitchment demon is too far away, he can't monitor me all the time. So I handed the military star chart over to the clone, brought it to Area 7 to 77, and entered the black hole. After the clone entered the black hole, it happened to encounter the black hole serpent ancestor, and was accidentally swallowed by it, so I hid in the military star chart. In fact, from that moment on, the clone was my main body, and the previous main body would inevitably die. I guessed that I would die at your hands. But you acted too quickly, not allowing me to finish speaking. Once I die, the bewitchment demon can manipulate my soul and obtain information. Fortunately, this little brother can also manipulate souls, otherwise it would be troublesome. After listening to the whole process, Lin Mo felt that it was really outrageous. This god had bin controlled since the true god realm, and later made various operations to save himself. Although he stole the military star chart, there was a reason for it, and he still cared about the human race in his heart. But in fact, he did steal the military star chart, and dealing with him became a headache. At the same time, his last sentence made Zhu Qiwu a little embarrassed. Zhu Qiwu acted a little too quickly, he should have at least let people finish speaking, he almost caused a big trouble. He Renqing had a well-planned plan, and must have had a way to tell Zhu Qiwu some information. Zhu Qiwu's mouth twitched, but he said nothing. Chapter 1254, The True Purpose of the Military Star Chart. Zhu Qiwu remained silent. Admit fault. It was impossible to admit fault. With his status, he was the ultimate authority in the Vermilion Bird battlefield, how could he possibly be wrong? Lin Moyu spoke up in a timely manner to smooth things over. In any case, the military star chart has been recovered, let the previous matter pass. His words resolved Zhu Qiwu's embarrassment. Zhu Qiwu coughed lightly, this matter ends here, although you took the military star chart, it was also beyond your control, and you have made the greatest effort to recover it. This matter is decided by this garrison commander, and will not be pursued, but you cannot continue to stay here. As for where you go next, first return to Fortress Number 1 and await my notification. He Renqing respectfully saluted Zhu Qiwu, thank you, garrison commander. Zhu Qiwu said, I have already notified Sha Huzong, and he will take you to process a new battlefield token, but you'd better also change your appearance, there are quite a few people who recognize you. The Sha Huzong that Zhu Qiwu mentioned was the Legion commander of Fortress Number 7, Zhu Qiwu would not trust others with this kind of matter. In the eyes of many people, He Renqing is already dead and should not appear again. He Renqing nodded, indicating that he understood. His appearance changed, and in the blink of an eye, he turned into another person. This clone was a refined puppet, strictly speaking not a real body. Moreover, for a powerhouse at the God King realm, changing appearance is not difficult. He Renqing's appearance changed, and his cultivation level also changed from God Venerable to God King rank 6. If he didn't say it, no one would know that he was He Renqing. After changing the battlefield token, he would be a brand new God King rank 6 powerhouse. A dozen seconds later, the warship's gate opened automatically, and Sha Huzong was already waiting outside. He would take He Renqing to process a new battlefield token and re-register the information in the Human Emperor network. After changing everything, He Renqing became another person. It was just a pity that 2/3 of his soul was gone, and it would be extremely difficult to cultivate it back unless there was a great opportunity. Looking at He Renqing's departing figure, he seemed a little lonely. Lin Moyu couldn't help but sigh, a dignified God Venerable, but this was how it ended. Lin Moyu sincerely sighed, the great world is dangerous, one wrong step leads to many wrong steps. Zhu Qiwu glanced at Lin Moyu, disagreeing with his words. What are you sighing about? This is already very good for him. Moreover, there is a problem with your words. It's not just the great world that is like this, it should be said that everything is like this. Whether you have embarked on the path of cultivation or not, it is the same. Those who have not cultivated, or even entered the great world, die silently due to some reasons, natural disasters, or man-made disasters. Wouldn't that be even more miserable? Lin Moyu asked, are you really planning to send him back to the human race star region? According to He Renshing himself, he had indeed tried his best to reduce losses, and the losses to the human race this time were indeed not significant. But these were all his words, and couldn't be fully believed. At least with Lin Moyu's understanding of the human race's higher-ups, it was impossible to completely trust He Renshing. It's better to be safe than sorry. From the perspective of the race, it was necessary to completely nip any potential problems in the bud, otherwise the consequences could be unimaginable. Zhu Qiwu didn't answer, but instead asked, what do you think? If it were you, what would you do? Lin Moyu thought for a while. First, conduct a comprehensive examination of him to ensure that he has truly gotten rid of the control of the bewitching demon. I believe the human race definitely has a way to check it out. This is only the first step. The control of the bewitching demon can sometimes affect one's temperament, so he is no longer suitable for serving in the military, nor is he suitable for staying in the Vermilion Bird Star region. Try to arrange for him to go to a place far away and let him live there. In the Human Race Star region, the Human Emperor Network can be used to keep an eye on him, and under normal circumstances, nothing major will happen. The look of satisfaction in Zhu Qiwu's eyes grew stronger and stronger, and he did not hesitate to praise. Not bad, your idea is very good, we will indeed do that. You are quite suitable for the military. Are you interested in formally joining the army? Lin Moyu shook his head. No thanks, I prefer a free life, and I am also a glory soldier now, so I am also considered part of the military. Anyway, when I am in the battlefield, you can call me whenever you need me. Hee. Zhu Qiwu smiled and did not force him. Whatever you want, anyway, in the end, it's all the same. There seemed to be a deeper meaning in Zhu Qiwu's words, and Lin Moyu secretly noted it down. Zhu Qiwu's gaze returned to the holographic star chart. All right, now I will formally demonstrate the true use of the military star chart. Lin Moyu perked up. What kind of secret was contained in the military star chart that could cause the demon army to come out in full force and the human race to fight to the death, even destroying the entire region? As Zhu Qiwu continued to activate the star chart unfolded like a scroll, and the projected images became clearer and more complete. The holographic star chart was completely unfolded, enveloping the entire space, and Lin Moyu seemed to be in it. 0A seeking fresh flowers. Areas were outlined one by one. Those were war zones, and each war zone was divided into various regions. Each region had its own shape. Some were spherical, some were square, some were even flat rectangles, and more were irregular shapes. Compared to the star chart seen in Fortress No. 1, the star chart in front of him was much more detailed. In addition to the divided areas, more locations were nameless voids. In the entire star chart of the Vermilion Bird battlefield, the nameless voids occupied more than 80% of the area. Then, star-like points of light lit up, a total of 10 points of light, representing space fortresses numbers 1 through 10. Among them, fortresses numbers 1 through 6 were located on the outermost edge of the battlefield, encircling the battlefield. Fortresses numbers 7 through 9 were like a triangle, located in the central region of the battlefield. And in the center of the battlefield, the brightest point of light shone brightly. 0. That was fortress number 10, also the most powerful of all the space fortresses, and Zhu Qiwu was stationed there all year round. Space fortresses not only possessed powerful combat power themselves, but they were also military bases, with garrisons of up to 10 million in each fortress. Zhu Qiwu explained, space fortresses are different from war god fortresses. War god fortresses are mobile military bases, and their combat power is not as good as space fortresses. Space fortresses can also move, but they are too big and slow, but they are strong in combat power. Lin Moyu nodded slightly. He understood the difference. If divided by combat power, space fortresses undoubtedly ranked first, followed by mobile fortresses such as war god fortresses, and then warships, god Venerable class warships, and god King class warships. These were all the human race's weapons of war, very powerful. As for Zhu Qiwu's warship, it was a special product, different from mass-produced weapons of war, and could not be ranked among them. After the 10 space fortresses appeared, more points of light began to light up in the holographic star chart. These points of light were much smaller, representing outposts. Each outpost corresponded to an area. A total of 931 points of light represented 931 outposts. Everything was normal so far. This was also what Zhu Qiwu initially told him, that the star chart could mark the locations of outposts. It was precisely because of this that demons and humans wanted to seize the star chart. But Lin Moyu felt that the role of the star chart was more than that. Zhu Qiwu glanced at Lin Moyu and lightly tapped the star chart with his finger, and the star chart immediately burst into brilliant light. Chapter 1255. Such a thing should never happen even once. The light illuminated the not-so-large space, and on the holographic star chart, one point of light after another appeared. These points of light were much smaller than the points of light of space fortresses and outposts, like glowing mosquitoes flashing in the starry sky. The points of light became denser and denser, and almost every area had points of light. In the nameless void, there were relatively few points of light, but not completely none. A small number of points of light were stationary, and most of the points of light were moving. The holographic star chart was reduced by an unknown number of times. These points of light seemed to be moving very slowly, but if placed in a normal world, the speed would actually be astonishing. Lin Moyu didn't understand the meaning of these points of light for a while, but only a few seconds later, he suddenly knew what the points of light represented. Each point of light represented a human cultivator. The star chart clearly marked the location of each human cultivator, and this marking was in real time. In the vast majority of the August 13th areas, the locations of the human race's cultivators are extremely clear. Only a small number of special areas are not marked, possibly because these areas have special rules. For example, the previously visited Gilded Zone was a closed world, and the star chart couldn't mark the situation inside the area. There are quite a few areas similar to this. But in total, out of 931 areas, the movements of human cultivators are clearly visible in at least 800 of them. Zhu Qiwu smiled. Now you know why we value the military star chart so much, right? Lin Moyu wasn't stupid, of course, he understood. The exposure of the outpost base was already a major event, and if even the whereabouts of the human race's cultivators were exposed, the demons could launch targeted attacks. First destroy the outpost base, and then find the human cultivators on the battlefield and kill them one by one. The extent of the human race's losses would be self-evident. It might even lead to the complete expulsion of the human race from the Vermilion Bird battlefield, destroying countless years of effort. The Vermilion Bird battlefield produces all kinds of materials, which are important to any race. Over time, they can greatly enhance the race's combat power. The cruelty of the great world is obvious to all, and even the slightest lag can be infinitely amplified. For the sake of survival, all races in the great world never dare to be careless and must strive to be ahead. Lin Moyu couldn't help but ask, such an important thing should be strictly guarded. Zhu Qiwu put away the military star chart. This was an accident, and also a bit of carelessness. After all, in the 10,000 years since the military star chart was refined, there hasn't been any problem. We will strengthen protection in the future. This kind of thing will only happen once, there won't be a second time. Lin Moyu didn't say anything. In his opinion, this kind of thing shouldn't happen even once. The military star chart is a double-edged sword. If it's in one's own hands, it can clearly locate the positions of one's own people, making rescue and other things very convenient in case of danger. If it falls into the hands of the enemy, it's a great weapon against one's own people. There are a total of 10 such star charts, and each fortress has one stored. After this incident, the protection of the military star chart will definitely be greatly strengthened. It's highly likely that the Legion commander will personally guard it. Just like Zhu Qiwu said, this kind of thing can only happen once at most. The teleportation array in Fortress Number 1 flashed brightly, and Lin Moyu walked out of the teleportation array. Zhu Qiwu still had things to deal with and told him to go back first. As for the two tasks, the Human Emperor Network will settle them, and he only needs to wait quietly in Fortress Number 1. Zhu Qiwu specifically instructed him not to leave Fortress Number 1 temporarily before receiving the task settlement information. Because this task was a bit special and involved many people, the settlement would also take some time. It just so happened that Lin Moyu also had things to do in Fortress Number 1. he wanted to go to the trading center to sell the materials he had. He had agreed with Yu Zhu to wait for him. As a result, Zhu Qiwu called him away halfway, and he didn't even have time to go over. Entering the trading center, Lin Moyu went straight to the central counter. At the counter, it was still the woman named Yu Qing, and the divine King Lu was not here. The trading center seemed to have a deep relationship with the Yu family. The Yu family should be a large family, and Yu Qing and Yu Zhu were both members of the Yu family. As for the relationship between the two, Lin Moyu wasn't clear. And that divine King Lu. A smile appeared on the corner of Lin Moyu's mouth. His information was leaked, and it was done by that divine King Lu. This matter was done very poorly. But Zhu Qiwu said that he wouldn't deal with the divine King Lu. It's useful to keep this kind of almost idiotic guy around. Lin Moyu came to the counter, and Yu Qing's eyes lit up. Mr. Lin, you've arrived. The trading room is ready for you, and Miss Zhu is waiting for you. Lin Moyu nodded. Take me there. Yu Qing immediately called a staff member to lead the way for Lin Moyu. From Yu Qing's words, Lin Moyu obtained some information. She called him Mr. Lin, and she called him very naturally. It was true that she knew him, but she wouldn't call him Mr. Lin. Mr. is a term of respect, only used for people with noble status, regardless of cultivation realm. This was enough to show that in Yu Qing's eyes, his status was noble. In addition to the Miss Zhu she mentioned, Lin Moyu very naturally connected the dots. Yu Zhu was a miss, and her status in the Yu family should not be low. And Yu Qing was also a member of the Yu family, obviously with a lower status than Yu Zhu. Calling him Mr. Lin should also be Yu Zhu's instruction. Once again, he came to the fragrant and artistic backyard. One antique and charming pavilion after another was scattered in the backyard. Most of the pavilions were shrouded in formations and were conducting transactions. Lin Moyu came to a pavilion. The formation of the pavilion was not activated. Yu Zhu was sitting gracefully in the pavilion, brewing fragrant tea. The fragrance of the tea slowly drifted out of the cool tea, gradually dissipating. Just by smelling it, Lin Moyu knew that it was iced tea from the Ice Clan. Once you drink this kind of tea, you will never forget it. Seeing Lin Moyu, Yu Zhu's eyes lit up. A hint of joy flashed across her face, and she joked, Captain, you broke your promise. Yu Zhu exuded a slightly mature aura. The first time he saw her, he thought Yu Zhu's temperament was good, mature yet with a hint of playfulness. But after seeing Aunt Chu, he realized that Yu Zhu was actually imitating her Aunt Chu. Lin Moyu entered the pavilion, and the formation was activated, turning the interior of the pavilion into an independent small world. Lin Moyu sat down, and Yu Zhu very properly poured tea for Lin Moyu. The cold and clear tea entered his mouth, exploding in his throat, and an indescribable coolness swept through his body. Lin Moyu put down his teacup and smiled. You don't actually need to imitate Aunt Chu. Everyone has their own temperament. If you imitate too much, you won't be yourself anymore. Yu Zhu giggled. Then what kind of temperament do you think is better for me? At this time, the mature aura slightly receded, and the 3 points of playfulness became 6 points. Lin Moyu casually said, they're all good, just be yourself. Seeing Lin Moyu's serious look, Yu Zhu put away her smile. Captain really has no sense of humor. Lin Moyu asked, have you been waiting all these 2 days? Of course, who told the captain to break his promise? I am very trustworthy. Yu Zhu said in a delicate voice, her eyes flowing, revealing a hint of reproach. Chapter 1256. This young lady has everything here. Yu Zhu is very beautiful, her beautiful eyes are as bright as stars. At this time, she has less of a mature temperament, more playfulness, and some charm. It's hard to imagine how a person can express multiple temperaments at the same time. But it has to be said that Yu Zhu at this time is very tempting. Lin Moyu's expression remained unchanged, ignoring Yu Zhu's beauty, his tone calm and unwavering. Suddenly there was some urgent business, I went to deal with it, let's trade, this time the transaction volume is very large. Seeing this, Yu Zhu was a little disappointed, and gradually put away her smile. Okay, then I'll call a few more sisters over. Lin Moyu said that the transaction volume was large, it would definitely not just be talk, but a really large transaction volume. Unlike some people, who say they want to sell a large batch of things, but when they take it out, it's just a scattered pile. Soon, 4 female trading room members entered the pavilion one after another, all old acquaintances, the 4 who evaluated the price last time. After the 4 entered, they sat down quietly, without saying a word. However, it can be seen from their eyes that the status of the four is not as good as Yuzu, and the four are headed by Yuzu. Yuzu said softly, "Captain, we can start." Lin Moyu nodded and took out the spoils he had recently obtained. One by one, storage-type magical artifacts, a dazzling array of materials. Most of them came from the Shuojin area. During that rescue operation, Lin Mo obtained a large number of Shuojin and storage devices, so many that Lin Mo himself couldn't count them. Originally, the materials that could be obtained in this mission would be even more. Lin Mo was in a hurry, so he didn't carefully clean the battlefield. In the end, the black hole serpent ancestor appeared and swallowed everything, leaving not even a single hair. This led to a sharp decline in Lin Mo's income. Even so, Lin Mo's harvest was still amazing. Yuzu and the other 5 transaction masters were completely busy, doing their best to estimate the price. Lin Mo poured himself tea, self-sufficient, and waited quietly. When a batch of goods was inventoried, Lin Mo would take out another batch. Time passed bit by bit, 1 hour, 2 hours, and the inventory was far from over. Yuju's beautiful eyes glared at Lin Mo from time to time. She was almost exhausted from the inventory, but Lin Mo was there, comfortably drinking tea. After a full 10 hours, all the items were finally inventoried. The 4 transaction masters left one after another. They didn't say a word from the time they came to the time they left. Yuzu had already obtained the final figure for this batch of goods. Finally done. Yuzu sighed a long breath and glared at Lin Mo again, her eyes filled with reproach. Lin Mo smiled slightly and poured tea for Yuzu. "Don't worry, there are still a few things." Yuzu drank the tea brewed by Lin Mo himself and asked casually, "Still have more? Why didn't you say so just now?" Lin Mo smiled, "Not many things, only one type." "What is it?" "Demon worship." PFF'd. Yuzu almost spat out the water in her mouth, her small face filled with surprise. "Demon worship?" Lin Mo nodded, "Yes, demon worship. Demon warships, like human race warships, are very troublesome to refine, and the materials used are also extremely precious. The demon warships of the God King level are also made of God King level materials, in huge quantities. Although the human race cannot use demon warships, they can dismantle demon warships, resmelt them, and obtain a large number of precious materials. So demon warships are very valuable." Yuzu was speechless to Lin Mo anyway. Very few demon warships can be captured, and they usually only appear during major battles. If there are undamaged God King level demon warships, each one is worth 10 million points. So low, this price was somewhat different from Lin Mo's expectations. He estimated that a demon warship would be worth at least 30 million points. Yuzu explained, "We need to dismantle the demon warships, resmelt them, and there will be losses during the whole process, and it takes time and effort. The quality of demon warships is not as good as human race warships of the same level, and the price cannot be compared with human race warships. So, comprehensively calculated, 10 million points is a fair price." Lin Mo didn't dwell on it too much. "Okay, then let's calculate it at 10 million points, I have 4 here." Yuzu was speechless for a while, and instinctively said, "How did you get so many?" Lin Mo obtained 3 in the Shuojin area, and 1 more in this mission. If it weren't for the rush, Lin Mo might have been able to get hundreds of them, but unfortunately they all went into the belly of the black hole serpent ancestor, and nothing was left. 4 demon warships were exchanged for 40 million points. All the previous materials, calculated together, were worth 90 million points. Lin Mo's single transaction directly exceeded 100 million, reaching 130 million points. Yuju's eyes glowed, as if looking at a rich man. "So many points, even those veteran god kings who have been mixing in the battlefield for hundreds of years don't have as many points as you." "No, even the god Venerable realm may not have so many points. 130 million points can get 13,000 merit points. Including the previous points and merit points, Lin Mo's points have reached 200 million, and his merit points have exceeded 30,000. However, he needs to go to the merit office to go through the formalities to obtain the 13,000 merit points he has obtained. With Lin Mo's status as a glorious soldier, there will be no trouble. Now he is a big celebrity, whether it is the Legion commander in Fortress No. 1 or the Elder, they will not make trouble for him. Meng Gang, who is in charge of the merit office, was once his subordinate, and will not embarrass Lin Mo even more. The light in Yu Ju's eyes became brighter and brighter. It is already rare for a true god realm to reach the rank of sergeant. Captain, you are really awesome. She doesn't know how many merit points Lin Mo has, but it must be more than just a first-rank sergeant, at least a second-rank sergeant. Lin Mo smiled slightly, not caring about this. Merit points are more of a symbol to him. What he values is the improvement of his own strength and the evaluation of the chain missions. The same is true for points. Now that he has more than 200 million points, he can buy a lot of things. However, Lin Mo doesn't like those conventional items in the trading center. Lin Mo took a sip of tea and said, I want to ask you to buy something. Yu Zu became energetic as soon as she heard this. As a transaction master, what she likes to do most is transactions. Whether buying or selling is a transaction. Yu Ju's eyes were shining. Biting her jade lips, she knew that the things Lin Mo wanted to buy would definitely not be ordinary items. What do you want to buy? This girl has everything here. Lin Mo said, high-level elemental materials, requiring single elements, containing laws, the higher the material level, the better. Yu Zu asked, quantity. 1 copy of each material is enough. Are there any specific requirements for the types of elements? Lin Mo thought for a while. There are no specific requirements, but it is best to have single elemental materials containing powerful laws. Single element, containing laws, the higher the grade, the better, the stronger the laws, the better. Yu Zu repeated it again, and wrote down Lin Mo's requirements. At this time, Lin Mo took out a large pile of black stones, which were all the black stones he obtained in this mission. These black holes contain the laws of black holes, which can also be regarded as a top material. It's just that the purity is not enough, and the level is only God King level, which does not meet Lin Mo's requirements. Lin Mo said, please find someone to help me refine these black stones, the higher the purity, the better. Saying that, Lin Mo put the black stones into an empty storage ring and handed it to Yu Zu. Yu Zu took the storage ring and agreed, no problem, just leave it to me. Chapter 1257, Is he the Legion Commander's illegitimate son? Lin Mo paid 100 million points to Yu Zu as a deposit. If it's not enough, ask him again. As long as the total limit is within 200 million. Yu Zu didn't expect Lin Mo to trust her so much. He gave 100 million points as soon as he said it, without even asking for any proof. Yu Zu patted her chest and guaranteed loudly that she would definitely help Lin Mo find suitable materials. The whole process may take some time, and she will contact Lin Mo when she finds it. Lin Mo knew that the materials he requested were not easy to find, and most likely he would have to start from the military. In fact, he can also use military merits to exchange for them, but he doesn't want to use military merits. Military merits are not as easy to earn as points, and using them will reduce his military rank. Using points does not affect the promotion of authority. So he uses points as much as possible. His points come too easily, and he doesn't feel any heartache when using them. After leaving the trading center, Lin Mo went directly to the merit office. Thinking about the matter he entrusted to Yu Zu, he didn't know what kind of materials Yu Zu could find for him. Hopefully there will be God Venerable level materials. This time, Lin Mo wanted to enhance his elemental lich by finding materials. The elemental lich technique has now become the weakest link in all his techniques. The improvement of the realm has little effect on enhancing the effect of the elemental lich technique. To obtain a powerful elemental lich, one must use high-level materials. I once saw a demonstration of the spell when I awakened my magic. Elemental liches are very powerful, but I haven't been able to unleash their full potential yet. Even the auxiliary functions are becoming increasingly useless. This time's black stone is also a good material, containing the laws of black holes. However, a single black stone contains too few black hole laws and needs to be purified and refined. He handed over all the 1,000 or so black stones he obtained this time to Yu Zu, asking her to find someone to purify and refine them, merging them into one. This should yield a material of decent quality for summoning the elemental lich. Indeed, Lin Mo Yu also knew that he was very strong, far surpassing the so-called geniuses. But who doesn't want to become stronger? Especially after witnessing the existence in the black hole pit, Lin Mo Yu realized that he was truly very weak. If he were to die, what would become of his 4 beloved wives in the coffin of slumber? They might never have the chance to awaken in this lifetime. For whatever reason, he had to constantly become stronger, strong enough that no one could kill him, strong enough to defy fate itself. Lost in thought, Lin Moyu arrived at the military merit office. This time, Meng Gang was not seen at the counter for handling point-to-military merit exchanges. As the person in charge of the military merit office, Meng Gang had been punished to handle specific tasks because of a mistake last time. Later, he completed the task, offsetting his demerits with merits, and was reinstated to manage the military merit office again. At the counter was an old acquaintance, Rong Jia, sitting there, handling point-to-military merit exchanges for others. Lin Moyu waited for a while before stepping forward when it was his turn. Upon seeing Lin Moyu, Rong Jia immediately jumped up from his seat, stood straight, saluted Lin Moyu, and shouted loudly, "Captain, hello." After one mission, Rong Jia was completely convinced by Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu smiled slightly, "Don't be so excited. I sold some things and want to exchange them for points." Saying that, he handed over the battlefield token. Rong Yi respectfully took it with both hands, holding Lin Moyu's battlefield token as if holding a treasure. "Please wait a moment, Captain. I'll process it for you right away." Lin Moyu smiled, "No rush, take your time." Rong Jia's unusual reaction also attracted the attention of many people. Soldiers, while not looking down on ordinary cultivators, are never so polite to them. Usually, soldiers are serious and impartial, and it is rare to see them smile. Most people believe that soldiers should be like this. But now, seeing Rong Jia, they realized that this was not the case at all. Anyone who wasn't a fool would know that this was because the young man in front of them had a different status. People come and go in Fortress No. 1. Although Lin Moyu has a considerable reputation, not everyone knows him. Many people were guessing Lin Moyu's identity. Who exactly is this guy? Could he be the descendant of some big shot? Could he be the illegitimate son of some elder? It's also possible that he's a descendant of the Legion commander. Everyone let their imagination run wild. Lin Moyu felt a little helpless listening to them, but he didn't care. Being noticed is being noticed, it's nothing. Like the brightest star in the night sky, when people look up at the sky, the first thing they see is always the brightest one. Rong Jia acted quickly, verifying Lin Moyu's information. The origin of Lin Moyu's points was very clear and there wouldn't be any problems. Soon, the military merits were accumulated. Rong Jia handed the battlefield token back to Lin Moyu, looking slightly embarrassed. "Captain, I'm sorry." Lin Moyu knew what he meant. If it weren't for his abnormality, he wouldn't have attracted so much attention. He patted Rong Jia on the shoulder. "It's okay, cultivate well. Maybe we'll have a chance to do missions together again in the future." Rong Jia nodded vigorously, showing a smile. "Okay, Captain." Lin Moyu checked his military merits, which had reached 35,676. He was already a third-rank warrant officer. The rewards for the two missions had not yet been issued. The special mission would reward 10,000 military merits, 1 contribution point, and 1 military supply point. Once the special rewards were issued, he would become a fourth-rank warrant officer. This speed of promotion was something that other soldiers wouldn't dare to imagine. But this was not the main reward. The main rewards were contribution points and military supply points. The role of contribution points had not yet been fully realized, and it was estimated that it would not be useful for the time being. But Lin Moyu was already clear about the function of military supply points. He could open the military supply warehouse and choose an item of the same realm as himself. Therefore, he couldn't use it now. His realm level was too low, only true God realm, and he couldn't exchange for good things. Lin Moyu felt that he should wait until he reached the God Venerable realm before exchanging for a treasure of the God Venerable realm. Military supply points were too difficult to earn, and he didn't know if he could earn them in the future, so this opportunity couldn't be wasted. When Lin Moyu left the military merit office, the discussion about him had not stopped. At this time, several people entered the military merit office, passing by Lin Moyu. One of them looked at Lin Moyu's receding figure and said with a slight surprise, "Huh, it's him." Someone next to him immediately asked, "You know him?" Lin Moyu, the first on the potential ranking, the only person in 100 years to receive the military's honorary title, how could I not know him? That person looked slightly proud, as if he was talking about himself. His words immediately caused a stir. He is Lin Moyu. First on the potential ranking, second on the contribution ranking, 10th on the combat power ranking, the only honorary title recipient in 100 years. Goodness, he's such an awesome guy. This is much more awesome than the descendants of any big shot. No wonder I felt that he had an extraordinary temperament just now. It turned out to be him. Lin Moyu's reputation was indeed very big, and many people present had heard of him. The news of Lin Moyu's appearance in Fortress No. 1 was immediately spread out. In a hotel in the leisure area of Fortress No. 1, Zhang Ziyu was enjoying the unique cuisine of the battlefield. He suddenly received a message from a friend, and a smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. Lin Moyu, you finally appeared. Chapter 1258. You are Lin Moyu. The news of Lin Moyu's appearance in Fortress No. 1 spread like wildfire, like a constant solar wind, sweeping through the entire fortress in an instant. Many people went to see this newly emerging top genius. In the restaurant where Zhang Ziyu was dining, several people slowly stood up, and a strong fighting intent erupted from their bodies. The aura of the God King realm permeated the restaurant, attracting the attention of many people. What's going on? What are these people going to do? Did they want to fight in the restaurant? Several cultivators in the true God realm were impacted by the aura of the God King realm and turned pale. Zhang Ziyu looked towards those few people. He knew all of them, all strong people ranked in the top 30 on the combat power ranking. Zhang Ziyu had a very high opinion of himself, even somewhat conceited. He believed that he could become a God Venerable, even surpass God Venerable. He came from a large family and knew a lot of information that outsiders didn't know, knowing that God Venerable was not the end. At the same time, he also believed that sooner or later, he could become the first on all three rankings. Therefore, he was not in a hurry to improve his permissions through missions. For him, the first thing to improve was his realm, his combat power. Only in this way could he become the first on all three rankings. In the eyes of outsiders, Zhang Ziyu was very arrogant, very proud, but his mind was actually very clear. He knew that no matter how talented he was still far behind those seniors on the combat power list. He was only at the 9th rank of True God, and could at most fight against the 1st rank of God King. But those on the combat power list were at least at the 3rd rank of God King. Those ranked in the top 30,880 were at least at the 4th or 5th rank of God King. As for the top 10, each of them could fight beyond their level, and each was a genius. Their own realm might be at the 4th or 5th rank of God King, but their combat power might have reached the 6th or 7th rank of God King. He could not provoke such people for the time being. Zhang Ziyu was very clear-headed and had a clear plan for his path forward. He was waiting for these people to advance to level 5 permissions and leave the Suzaku Star region combat power list. Waiting for his own realm to improve, and then do some tasks to increase his contribution. At that time, even if he couldn't become the first on all three lists, he would at least be the first on 2 lists. Until Lin Moyu appeared, completely disrupting his plan. That's why he was so angry at the time, angrily losing his mind and directly challenging Lin Moyu. Later, he gradually calmed down and realized that he should not have launched a challenge. He knew nothing about Lin Moyu, so how could he rashly launch a challenge? Fortunately, Lin Moyu did not accept, otherwise, with Lin Moyu's strength, he estimated that he would be asking for trouble. Later, Lin Moyu rushed into the top 10 of the combat power list and second on the contribution list, which made him realize that challenging Lin Moyu was impossible. Moreover, Lin Moyu was full of mysterious aura, and he didn't even know Lin Moyu's specific cultivation realm. But he guessed that Lin Moyu should be around the 3rd rank of God King, and then have the ability to fight beyond his level, with an actual combat power at the 5th rank of God King. This time he came to know. One fortress, he also wanted to see Lin Moyu with his own eyes, to see what kind of person he was, so that he could have a bottom line in his heart. At the same time, he also received news that many people in the top 30 of the combat power list were not convinced by Lin Moyu, this parachuter, and wanted to challenge Lin Moyu. The human emperor network is not always completely correct sometimes. As geniuses, they naturally have the arrogance of geniuses. When Lin Moyu appeared, someone immediately left the tavern to find Lin Moyu. Zhang Ziyu didn't panic and followed them away. Lin Moyu encountered many people who knew him along the way, and there was another round of discussion. Lin Moyu didn't care about this, he could feel that wisps of power of faith were gathering. The more famous he was, the more power of faith he would get. The power of faith is useful, as far as is known now, enough power of faith can accelerate the understanding of laws. This alone is enough to make people flock to it. Walking into the mission center, Lin Moyu checked the missions to see which mission was more suitable for him next. He has actually only completed 3 official battlefield missions. The first was to collect stellar essence fire, the second was to collect smelting gold, and the third was the recently completed ambush of the demon army. However, the reward for the third mission has not yet been issued, so it is not considered officially completed. Military rank promotion missions and special missions should not belong to battlefield missions. The Human Emperor Network will not play word games, is it or is it not? Before the mission reward is issued, he cannot accept new battlefield missions. So he is just looking now, first find a suitable mission, and then accept it after the reward is issued. 5 battlefield missions, 3 have already been completed, and the ratings should all be perfect. The next 2 missions will definitely be completed perfectly. Lin Moyu is confident about this. Accumulating military merits is not a problem, his military merits have exceeded many soldiers at the 5th and 6th rank of God King. What gives Lin Moyu the biggest headache is still another mission, to kill the top 10 people on the bounty list. It's not that they can't be killed, but they can't be found. These people are elusive and difficult to find. Lin Moyu pondered while browsing the missions. Finally found a suitable mission, now just waiting for the previous battlefield mission to end, and then he can accept the new mission. Lin Moyu gave up the mission station for others to use. There are many people in the mission center, and everyone is queuing to use the mission station. Suddenly, a wave of people poured into the mission center. The few people walking in the front exuded a strong aura of the God King realm. As soon as they came in, their eyes searched the mission center, as if looking for someone. The eyes of the God King are very sharp, and in a blink of an eye, they have swept across the entire mission center, and finally fixed on Lin Moyu. Here to find me. Lin Moyu also looked at them at the same time. From them, Lin Moyu felt the aura from the human race star region. The aura of the battlefield is different from the aura of ordinary star regions. The aura of ordinary star regions is peaceful and stable, and the aura of the battlefield is relatively mixed. When people enter the battlefield from ordinary star regions, they will still retain the peaceful and stable aura of ordinary star regions for a certain period of time. This aura will gradually be covered by the aura of the battlefield and eventually disappear. This time is about 10 days. In other words, these people only came to the battlefield within 10 days. Then it seems that they came specifically to find themselves. Lin Moyu quickly made an analysis and judgment. As for what they are looking for him for, Lin Moyu can probably guess 1 or 2 things. It's nothing more than being dissatisfied with his ranking and coming to challenge him. Whether it is the potential list or the combat power list, there are similar rules. The potential list can conduct challenges of the same realm, under the witness of the Human Emperor Network. Whoever has stronger combat power in the same realm, naturally has stronger potential. The combat power list is completely open for war, without too many restrictions. However, no matter which challenge, you cannot use magic weapons or other props, relying only on your own combat power. Both challenges are conducted in the Human Emperor Network, and there is no danger to life. Lin Moyu naturally understands the intention of the Human Emperor Network's regulations. The potential list goes without saying, under the same realm, whoever has stronger ability has greater potential. The combat power list is the same. The Human Emperor Network has never said that it will not make mistakes, so there is a challenge mechanism. If you are not satisfied with the list, then you can challenge it, as long as you can pay the price. Are you Lin Moyu? A burly man, more than 2 meters tall, glared at Lin Moyu. His eyes seemed fierce, but there was no killing intent. They are just here to challenge, not to fight and kill. Lin Moyu made a further analysis from his eyes. This person is a bit irritable, has an angry personality, and is not calm. 7 or 8 people came in together, but none of them spoke except him. Lin Moyu glanced at him. Let's talk outside. Saying that, Lin Moyu bypassed him in a few steps and quickly left the mission center. Chapter 1259 Eye-Catching Challenge. There are many people in the mission center, and Lin Moyu doesn't want to affect others. Leaving the mission center, the surroundings suddenly became quiet. Although there are still many people, it is much better than just now. 7 or 8 people also followed Lin Moyu away, and it was still the big man who asked, "Are you Lin Moyu?" This is not only irritable, impatient, but also has no brains. Lin Moyu doesn't know how this kind of person cultivated to the God King realm. How can he comprehend the laws like this? Lin Moyu whispered, "Keep your voice down, don't affect others." You. The big man's face changed drastically, his eyes glowed red, as if he was about to explode immediately. At this time, a palm was pressed on the big man's shoulder, and a man slightly shorter than the big man said, "Huota, calm down first, I'll talk." A burst of laws surged, and Lin Moyu felt a chill coming towards him. The palm slapped on the large man's shoulder emitted a layer of frost, instantly covering his body and calming him down. The law of water was controlled with subtle precision, extremely ingenious. It calmed the large man down without causing him any harm. The tall, thin man said, "We won't introduce ourselves. You can see our information for yourself." As he spoke, they released their hidden information, displaying their names and realm levels. The large man with a volatile temper was called Huota, a fourth-order god king. The tall, thin man who controlled the law of water was called Han Yu, also a fourth-order god king. There were a few others, all around the third to fourth order of the god king realm. Lin Mo recognized these people's names from the battle strength list, and as he had guessed, they had indeed come to challenge him. Han Yu said, "I apologize. Huota's soul was once tainted by the law of fire during cultivation, so he has a bit of a temper, but he means no harm." Lin Mo nodded, "I know. Huota had a bad temper, but Lin Mo could sense that there was no killing intent in his eyes." Han Yu smiled slightly, "You've probably guessed why we've come to find you, right?" Lin Mo could tell that Han Yu was a calm and intelligent person, like himself. It wasn't surprising that Han Yu could tell he had guessed their intentions. Lin Mo said, "Is this a challenge for the potential list or the battle strength list?" It was easy to talk to intelligent people, and it was better to be direct without beating around the bush. Han Yu smiled, "Either will do." Lin Mo nodded, "Same here, but I have conditions." Han Yu wasn't surprised and smiled slightly, "The fees are negotiable." He just needed Lin Mo to agree, everything else could be discussed. "Then let's go to the arena," Lin Mo said, turning towards the military's arena. There were only 3 ways to challenge someone. The first was to enter a real-world arena connected to the Human Emperor Network. The second was to issue a challenge on the Human Emperor Network, and after both parties agreed, the Human Emperor Network would make the necessary arrangements. The third was to use a challenge token, which needed to be used in an area covered by the Human Emperor Network. But challenge tokens were extremely rare and valuable, so they were generally not used unless necessary. The second method was often ignored. Why should I pay attention to your challenge? Dream on. The first method was the best. Find someone in the real world, discuss the fees, and then go together to a real-world arena and enter the Human Emperor Network. The challenger needed to pay the challenged party a corresponding fee. The amount of the fee could be negotiated by both parties, generally paid in the form of points. Their conversation wasn't deliberately concealed, and everyone nearby heard the news. As veteran powerhouses on the battle strength list, Huota and the others were quickly identified as their information was released. In an instant, the news of the veteran powerhouses on the battle strength list challenging Lin Mo once again swept through the entire space fortress. A large number of busybodies rushed to the military arena to watch the challenge. Arena challenges were public, and anyone could watch by purchasing a ticket. The price of the tickets was determined by the Human Emperor Network, with clear and fair pricing. Pay if you want to watch, leave if you don't, no one is forcing you. A challenge from a powerhouse on the battle strength list would naturally attract a lot of attention. In the blink of an eye, the challenger's identity had spread. A total of 8 people had come to challenge Lin Mo this time. The leader was Han Yu, ranked 12th on the battle strength list. He was ranked 11th before Lin Mo appeared, dropping 1 place because of Lin Mo. The second was Huota, who was originally ranked 10th on the battle strength list, but now ranked 11th due to Lin Mo's sudden appearance, so he was the most unconvinced by Lin Mo. The remaining 6 were also basically ranked near the top of the battle strength list, with the lowest ranked 25th, originally 24th. Without exception, these people were all veteran powerhouses who had been on the battle strength list for many years, possessing battle strength that surpassed their own realm. Their combat experience was incredibly rich, and they were considered invincible among those of the same realm. They were naturally unconvinced by Lin Mo, who had suddenly appeared out of nowhere. Combat wasn't just about realm, experience also mattered. The group arrived at the periphery of the arena, which was already filled with people. The arrival of Lin Mo and his group immediately attracted everyone's attention. Lin Mo stopped in front of the arena. "Let's discuss the challenge fee before we go in." Han Yu smiled slightly. "Of course. Since we're initiating the challenge, you can set the challenge fee." Lin Mo shook his head. You guys said it, I'm afraid I'll set it too high, and you won't be able to accept it. Han Yu thought for a moment. After all, we're all on the battle strength list. If the challenge fee is too low, people will laugh at us. How about this? We'll each pay 1 million points. Regardless of winning or losing, the points are yours. 1 million points wasn't a small amount for most cultivators. Even for God Kings, it was still a huge sum. Just as Han Yu said, they weren't ordinary God Kings, but powerhouses on the battle strength list. If the challenge fee was too low, they would really lose face. They just didn't know that 1 million points really wasn't much to Lin Mo. He had just given Yu Zhu 100 million points as a deposit. 8 people, added together, was only 8 million points, not even a tenth of the deposit. Lin Mo frowned slightly, not immediately agreeing. Huota's fiery temper surged again, and he let out a low growl, but before he could speak, Han Yu slapped him. A layer of frost emerged, forcefully suppressing Huota's temper. Han Yu asked, "Does Brother Lin have any objections?" Lin Mo thought for a moment. "How about we change the rules? I don't want your challenge fees. Let's bet points instead." A glint flashed in Han Yu's eyes, seemingly a bit surprised, and he asked, "How do we bet?" Lin Mo said, "We'll use the points I have as the stake. If I lose, I'll give half of my points to the winner. If any of you lose, you'll pay me points, an amount equal to 1/10 of the points I have." The group quickly calculated in their minds. This bet seemed a bit strange. Han Yu understood Lin Mo's intentions as soon as he heard it. It seems Brother Lin has quite a few points. Lin Mo smiled slightly. Not bad. Lin Mo's thoughts couldn't be hidden from Han Yu at all. As soon as Han Yu heard it, he knew that Lin Mo had at least 10 million points. Because only then could Lin Mo's benefits exceed the challenge fee. Every time Lin Mo won, he could get a bet of 1/10 of his points. If Lin Mo had exactly 10 million points, then he could get 1 million points, which would be equal to their challenge fee. If Lin Mo had 20 million points, then he could get 2 million points every time he won. In other words, the more points Lin Mo had, the more he would earn every time he won. Han Yu guessed that Lin Mo had at least 20 million points, otherwise he wouldn't have made such a request. According to his thinking, he would only choose to gamble if the benefits exceeded the guaranteed benefits by 1 time. Otherwise, wouldn't it be better to take the 8 million points for nothing? Moreover, every time Lin Mo lost, he would have to pay half of his points. In this way, the input and output were completely disproportionate, with at least a 5-fold difference. He would rather increase the risk several times to give up the immediate benefits and obtain high-risk returns. One is that Lin Mo has the confidence to win, and the other is that Lin Mo himself is an adventurous person. A gleam of light flashed in Han Yu's eyes. From Lin Mo's eyes, he saw a hint of a smile. This was an open scheme, putting the cards on the table. The 5-fold benefits, the question is whether you dare to bet. Han Yu didn't immediately agree. Let's discuss it. Lin Mo prepared his points, as owing debts is not fun. Lin Mo smiled slightly. Please, go ahead. Han Yu and the others began to discuss. Lin Mo had confidence that as long as they were normal people, they wouldn't refuse. Especially these geniuses on the battle strength list, each one full of confidence in themselves. If they didn't dare to agree, it could only prove they were afraid. How could they be afraid, and with 5 times the reward? Winning would get them half of their own points, losing only requires paying a 10th, which is also a huge temptation. After a moment, the group reached a decision. Han Yu said, "We agree to bet with you." "Good, then let's go to the arena to establish a contract." Lin Mo took the lead into the arena. Han Yu's eyes flashed with a sharp light, and he said in a low voice, "Let's go in." Seeing Lin Mo and the others enter the arena, everyone outside revealed excited expressions. In a little while, when the arena sets the ticket price, they can buy tickets to enter. Just don't know how much the ticket price for this challenge will be, probably not too cheap. Inside the arena, a huge fighting arena appeared before everyone. In a while, their fight will be displayed on this field by the Imperial Network in the form of a projection. But the real place they fight is in the Imperial Network. The projection here is for the audience to watch. Outside the arena, a row of stone houses stood side by side. The houses were neat and square, without any decoration, with only a few numbers on them. From number 1 to number 100, a total of 100 houses. They will enter the house in a while, and then enter the Imperial Network. This will ensure that both parties are not disturbed. Several people connected to the Imperial Network and signed a contract. When the news of the contract being established came from the Imperial Network, the smile in the corner of Lin Mo's eyes became even stronger. Seeing this scene, Han Yu's heart couldn't help but thump. He had a feeling of being fooled. He suddenly realized that Lin Mo might have a lot of points, maybe 50 million. If he really had 50 million, they would have to pay 5 million points for losing a match. 5 million points is not a small amount for them. This is the result of more than 100 years of accumulation, and if they lose, it will be very painful. But then again, what if they win? The more points Lin Mo has, the more they earn. So, this is a conspiracy driven by huge profits. Lin Mo had expected this result, such a huge benefit, normal people would not refuse, especially smart people like Han Yu. Lin Mo smiled and said, prepare your points, don't let the feeling of owing money be uncomfortable when you don't have enough points. If there are not enough points, the Imperial Network will determine that they owe Lin Mo first. At that time, their every task and every income will automatically be transferred to Lin Mo. Before the debt is paid off, they will not have any income, and even their permissions cannot be improved. And the points owed have interest, 1/10 of the interest every year, not cheap. So there is no such thing as owing money being the boss, the Imperial Network will not allow this to happen. Huoda shouted angrily, get lost, the only one who can lose is you. Lin Mo smiled and did not respond to him, who of you will come first, challenge the potential list or the battle strength list. Obviously, the 8 people had already discussed it, and one of them said, I'll go first. This person's name is Bai Tianzong, a 3rd Order God King, ranked 25th on the battle strength list. Before Lin Mo parachuted in, he was ranked 24th. Lin Mo smiled, okay, then what are you challenging? Bai Tianzong glanced at Han Yu, since you are the first on the potential list, then I will challenge you on the battle strength list. Lin Mo can reach the top of the potential list, indicating that his potential must be very strong. He is not sure of winning in a battle at the same level, so he naturally chooses the battle strength list. Lin Mo nodded, as you wish. Bai Tianzong continued, I remember you jumped directly from 35th on the battle strength list to 10th. I guess you must have obtained some powerful magic weapon, but unfortunately, in the Imperial Network, all your magic weapons cannot be used. Lin Mo did not respond, turned and walked towards a small house. At this time, the numbers on 2 small houses lit up, namely number 1 and no. 2. Lin Mo entered house number 1, the door of the house slammed shut, the formation in the house lit up, and Lin Mo's consciousness automatically entered the Imperial Network, appearing in the Imperial Arena. Lin Mo is very familiar with the Imperial Arena. The arena has not officially opened yet, and he can only stand on the edge and cannot enter. Bai Tianzong quickly appeared at the other end of the arena, facing Lin Mo across the arena. A mechanical voice came from the Imperial Network. The challenge will begin in 3 minutes. The challenge has no time limit. Once the challenge begins, it will only end when one party admits defeat, dies in battle, or both parties jointly decide to end it. The competition in the Imperial Network is extremely simple. Because magic weapons cannot be brought in, it depends only on the individual's true combat power. Individual's true combat power is nothing more than realm and spells. Realm represents the degree of understanding of the law, but everyone's ability to manipulate the law is different, and there are also strengths and weaknesses in the same realm. The same is true for spells, which are composed of factors such as the manipulation of spells, the carrying capacity of the law, and whether there are multi-star spells. Entering the Imperial Network, the challengers can check each other's levels and can no longer hide information. Bai Tianzong is a 3rd Order God King, no problem. When Bai Tianzong curiously checked Lin Mo's information, he was stunned on the spot, his eyes widened more than a star, and he was speechless. Fortress number 1, outside the arena, people waiting expectantly finally saw the ticket price. 10,000 points per ticket, not cheap. But it's not too expensive either. People who hang out in the battlefield can still get this many points. Immediately, everyone took out points to buy tickets. The next second, they were teleported into the arena and appeared in the stands. The outside of the arena was empty in the blink of an eye, while the stands were packed.